I was going to have the last time be done by Sam this time.
Oh, okay. Last time on Shadows, we um did a festival, very antisocial.
Yep, there were like 1,000 plot hooks that we just dodged.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, I mean, there was like very obvious plot hooks.
That our characters had no interest in. We had other agendas.
Yeah, and stuff. But Riven left, and then the party was joined by a character named Ira Silverstein.
And Young showed up again.
Young did. Locke wasn't too happy. Um,
He's just not too
then
happy right now in general.
yeah,
Sort of
Yeah.
been through a lot.
Yeah.
yeah. So with that, we're just going to, went traveling down to the capital. Because apparently Locke's mom saw that his dad was in a prison cell and assumed it was in Caperton. So I went down there. There was a plot hook for for Silver. But Locke was like, no, your feud can wait. Go away.
I'm sure that's not going to backfire later.
Oh, gee,
Yeah.
thanks for spoiling it.
You don't know, he could be lying. Anyway, so there's that. So we went to see the warden. Well, first we went to the gate and was told to go see the warden. And we talked. Riven tried to be
Silva.
Diplomatic.
Silver. Well, she hasn't told you guys that you guys can call her Silver, so her name is still Ira to you guys. So,
Yeah.
but whatever. Silver tried to be diplomatic and persuade the warden to go faster, which she did succeed. But the bribe. And then we got into the prison. Locke had a nice little conversation, like one-on-one conversation with his daddy. If he's innocent of his crimes, who knows? Or more or less, who gives a fuck?
It was a very upsetting and disappointing conversation for Locke.
Yeah.
When I say disappointing, I don't mean that it was a bad conversation, Dalred. You did surprisingly well for being so bad at improv. I was invested. It was more disappointing for Locke in the sense that this is not what he wanted to find.
Right. So there's that.
Yep.
And we were escorted out of the prison, and now we're just walking along to find this. Oh, yeah, we met this little another dragonborn lady. Apparently wanted us to find someone in the prison, but no one in the prison remembered this person. Until finally Silver got fed up and used some magic to interrogate a prisoner. And supposedly that being has been seen, but who knows? And now we're outside the prison, going somewhere.
You were told, you were presented with the option via the Zone of Truth and Shenanigans that you may be able to go and meet with a bard in a local tavern who may know something about a Loxodon in prison.
Right. Did you say all the events that happened at the festival was canon?
Yes.
So I'm guessing Silver had a run-in with this bird.
Perhaps.
You don't know that yet?
I mean,
perhaps.
I mean,
So
caca!
I mean,
so unbeknownst, Silver may have met this being. And now we're just gonna go like, okay, which tavern in this gigantic town?
Oh, that's
like
well,
I mean,
Locke's
30 miles wide. Holy shit.
Yeah. It'll take a full day to walk across this town.
Yeah.
But yeah, and just like go around, try to find tavern to find this bird.
You also, Riven, I think, was thinking about, or Silver
Silver.
was thinking
We'll
about.
get there eventually, guys.
We won't.
Yes, probably not.
We
Anyway.
will not.
Anyway,
He'll be
Silver.
so thankful when River comes. When River.
No,
River,
what
no,
it'll
Riven
what
comes
it'll
back.
yes, what it will be.
Dance, you have River Song.
What it'll be is very
Oh my
simple.
god, I would!
What it'll be is very simple. We'll get used to Silver's name so much that everything will be fine, and then Riven comes back and we start calling Riven Silver. Mm-hmm.
It's gonna just be called River, because, you know, you
Yes,
split
River.
half of Riven's name and half of Silver's name, and it's River.
Anyway,
Holy
so,
fuck. Okay.
alrighty then. So,
This is a great start. I'm loving this. I'm loving this.
Hey, look at the bright side. At least we're all more awake. Well, most of us.
I wasn't
Yes.
even kidding.
alright.
So, yes, we're on our way out. I
Okay.
think we're past the gates. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're on your
Locke,
way out.
Locke did, Locke did have one other stop he wanted to make before he go on to the bird thing, because there's still something
Okay.
he needs to do, mainly stopping by the office with the warden or whatever again, to see
Mhm.
about at least paying off some of the fine to decrease his father's sentence. He's not bailing him out, but he's decreasing his sentence.
Well, we should find out, like, who pressed charges against him. Of, like, who said he stole from them.
I mean,
That would be an interesting look into.
perhaps, but you got to remember, Locke is he's tunnel visioned right now.
Yes, and we just got done with that tunnel.
And you did kind of want to get more information about him.
Fair enough. Well, then
Oh
bring
my
it up
gosh,
to
hyperactive kitty, stop!
well, then bring it up to him in character, because this shit is us talking, not our characters.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's
So, our Grand DM.
yes. So we open with this session with you guys having just left the prison. The guards, the Loxodon guards, have led your way back out after conversing with Frederick, and you had received various different potential threads to follow through with looking into Eliasis, the Silver Dragonborn's friend, who she pronounced as Kadruil. Kadruil.
Cad.
I still have a hard time with that name, and I've said it a couple of times more than you have. Anyway,
Yeah, in my
Kadruil.
in my
Kadruil.
notes, let's here in my notes, I have it written down as Kadruil, some dude nobody remembers.
Thanks.
I mean effective.
Well, that's literally what it is. It's just like no one in the prison.
Yeah.
So if I had to pull some teeth for that.
Alrighty then. So, and we move on from there to you guys having left the prison, and now you're left with where you want to venture to. Apparently, in some tavern somewhere in this big, huge town, there is perhaps going to be a bard that at one time or another had been in the prison and somehow was mimicking a Loxodon's voice. What sort of means are you going to do? Oh, right, you were going to go to see the warden, because you're going to
Right.
check in with him before you left the prison area proper.
Yep.
So, is there any conversation that Silver wants to have on the way to the warden? Perhaps open up the floor for the potential RP element of, hey, you should ask who put him in there.
Maybe. And be like, so, we're going back to the wardens? Why?
I just need to take care of one or two small things.
Like what?
Personal things. The man I was here to see, you overheard my father, and just need to deal with something relating to that.
Are you trying to bail him out?
No. But I am trying to decrease his sentence, if nothing else, so he can have a chance to make up for the mistakes he's made.
Well,
can't make up.
know he will.
It's up to him to prove it. But he can't if he doesn't even get the chance. That's all I'm giving him. The opportunity, what he does with it is up to him. If he runs off and squanders it, I honestly won't be surprised.
Like, are you going to wait here until his time is up?
He knows where to find me and the rest of the family. He can get there on his own.
Okay. What was he put in jail for by again?
As I understand it, he stole from someone who happened to have enough power to make his sentence significantly harsher. That's what he said, anyway.
So your dad is a thief.
Much as it annoys me, yes. Seems that way.
Hmm. But if they were able to make his sentence stricter, how do you know the warden's not going to go tell the person who had the influence to make your dad's sentence longer than it should have been?
Considering how easily you were able to speed things along with a quick distribution of coin.
Yes, and as we saw, he is a bit greedy.
Right.
And he is corrupted. So that means he can backstab us, too.
Well, I'm not about to commit a jailbreak.
Ah! Sorry.
What was that strange noise in the sky that sounded
I don't
vaguely
know.
like an Australian walrus honking at us?
I thought some bug flying by my ear, but oh well. Okay.
Random
We
horse
look
fly.
down the street and there's just a walrus in a cage just down the street. Sorry.
So you go see the warden.
Yes.
Yeah, with like caution from Silver, it's just like, yeah, no, this guy can possibly backstab us for shit.
Alrighty.
So
So you make your way back over to the warden's office, and as you get there, you see Eliasis, the silver dragonborn from before. He seems to be in the process of getting some paperwork that the warden has just sort of basically she's helping to file paperwork away, and she sees the three of you, including Young, who's been silent, oddly enough, for the last little bit. And she sort of perks up as you three of you come through. But she doesn't say anything and lets you carry on to the warden. Because he's got.
I think I'll awakened mind back to Yang.
Mhm.
And ask, why don't you see if you can ask her about any Kenkus in the area, see if you can narrow down which taverns we're supposed to be scouting out for this information, right?
As Dragonborn?
I mean, yeah, maybe she'll know something. Not likely, but it's worth asking and following up.
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
All right, take care of that while we're talking to the warden.
You got it.
Multitasking. And with that, I'll sever the awakened mind and proceed.
Alright. So you walk your way back to the warden. Young sort of hangs back to talk to the Dragonborn. And
Silver waves.
you wave to the Dragonborn.
Yes. Just like,
Hi.
hi.
She gives you this awkward little hi, also. There's no. She's a bit klutzy, so she's like collecting all these paperworks. She gives you a hi gesture and then almost drops the papers. And it's like, nah.
Adorable.
And for purposes of Dragonborns and ages, she's like very, very young. She's equivalent to like extremely young adult, like 21 type age for what it's worth. She's very green, as it were, even though she's silver. You go to the warden himself, and as before, you see him sort of crouched in his chair, a la sort of monkey style, and he's still going over some various different paperwork that he still hasn't finished signing yet. The rest of the stuff that Elise just grabbed. And he sees the two of you, the two of you, you and Silver, walk up. Did you need something else?
Yes. I have one or two questions about the prisoner. I just went to see if that's all right.
Sure.
All right. First of all, what specific crime did he commit? He told me himself, but I would like to hear the official report if I'm allowed.
Let's see. And he goes to, like, through the different files that he has for a second. Frederick, was it? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. He starts to speak about it, and then he looks over the paperwork itself, and he's... That's actually somewhat classified. Give me another platinum or two, and I'll tell you.
I double check my inventory, make sure I even have that much. Oh, yeah, easily. Yeah, I'll chuck him too. It's like, all right. Ding, ding. Here you go.
Thank you. Anyway, it seems that your father was deemed guilty in theft of an ancient artifact. The name of the artifact has actually been redacted from my paperwork. Odd. Anyway, he had stolen a precious artifact from one of our higher nobles, and though it was a simple theft charge that would normally put him in for maybe 6 months to a year, the higher end noble decided that that theft needed to be that punishment needed to be extended.
By how much?
By how much you're asking? How long his sentence is?
Yeah.
I believe I had said from Frederick was I want to say it was Frederick said that he was going to be in there for 10 years and he'd already served for like 6.
All right.
So, yeah. Roughly 10 years.
Well then.
So, a petty theft that went from a year to being 10.
Well then.
What was the... Okay, character. What was it again he stole?
A ancient artifact that belonged to a noble.
The specifics were redacted from the paperwork, so we're not going to know that shit any more than our characters.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Locke will kind of hum for a second, say, all right. I assume there's a system in place for decreasing jail time in the way of paying fines or something to that effect?
Of course.
How expensive would it be to cut that down to 1 month?
1 month from the 4 years that are left.
Everyone's just like looking at Locke like, seriously?
If he was going to spend only 1 year normally, then 10 years seems a bit excessive, don't you think?
I'm assuming that question's for Silver because the warden's not going to say anything to that.
It was just a statement in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just Riven's just like, I don't know if you're gonna. And it's just like kind of doubtful towards you. Like, I don't know if you'll have enough coin for that.
Well, we'll see what he says.
Yeah, shall we?
We're going to drop his sentence from the 4 years that are left down to a month.
As long
I
as
don't
can
think-
afford
I don't-
that much.
I don't think you got that, kid. 100 plat?
I'll glance down at my pockets for a second and kind of grimace. Oh, shit! I'm 8 short. Well, then what would 85 bring him down to?
Pull out a calculator.
He actually takes a moment and brings out a what is that called? The like
Abacus.
ancient Atticus, the ancient calculator things.
Abacus.
Atticus,
Mhm.
yeah, those things.
I
He
have
breaks
no
out.
idea how they work.
He breaks out one of those, and he sort of clicks through. You really want him out of there?
I want his sentence to be realistic.
See, I will say he will have, with 85, he will be down to 3 months.
And with that, without even missing a beat, Locke's just going to fork it over.
Well then. This is going to be some interesting paperwork to file.
He has a lot to make up for, and he can't do it from a cell.
Interesting. And he actually he settles the gold or the platinum that you have handed off to him with his extra clawed hand that was underneath one of his others. As he's got his like upper arms sort of in a thinking pose. Well, I suppose it was great doing business with you then. You will expect your father out in 4 months.
Well, when he's released, make sure to remind him. Yukiegi, the library. That's where we want him to go. That's where his family is waiting for him. And without another word, Locke will get up and step out, determining that his business here is done.
Nice. Silver, are you staying in the room and hanging back, or are you just leaving with Locke?
Hmm. Like, Silver's not too happy with the warden, but yeah, she's gonna follow Locke.
All right.
Deal
Okay.
with him another day.
All right.
Alright, so give me, since you're sort of hang back a little bit less because you're sort of weary, give me a perception check, and Locke, you make one at disadvantage because you're leaving the room.
All right. That's a 5.
Okay.
17.
Nice. With a +1, you rolled a 17. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Swanky.
As you guys are walking away, you spot him write down on a few like parchment of paper that he has at his desk, and he writes down Yukiegi, and with your 17, you get a like sparse moment as you're leaving the room of him writing down a basic description of Locke. But yes, carrying on, leaving.
Can I do an insight check off that?
Sure.
Like, see if this is just like it's fascinating.
10.
As far as you can tell, with an insight of 10, he seems to be following through with what Locke had said. He writes down the name Yukiegi so that he can remind Locke's father later.
But I'm curious about, like, why is he writing a description of Locke?
Best you can figure, based on an inside of 10, perhaps to make sure that his father would be able to find him again.
That and 16-year-old kid walked in with damn near 100 plat.
Yeah.
That's fucking odd.
Yeah. I mean, it's even odd for Silver for
What
him
time
to
of
just.
day is it?
It is mid-afternoon ish.
Okay. She continues after Locke.
Okay.
All right.
So next, may I suggest we find another tavern for the evening, guys?
Well, it depends. Young, did you get anything?
Yeah. So as you guys make your way outside the office itself, Young comes up and she's like, "Okay, so you were in luck, Locke. That was rather lucky on your part, I suppose. Apparently, Eleasis, the Dragonborn, is intending to go to a tavern as soon as she's done with the rest of her paperwork to see a Kenku bard that is going to perform.
Well, that
She-
definitely sounds.
She's not entirely sure if she'll make it on time, but we will see.
Did she give the name of the tavern so we can make sure we're there either way?
The Lazy Crane.
Lazy Crane. All right.
Hmm.
And then I guess we're going to the Lazy Crane then.
Okay.
Alrighty. And Young sort of hangs back for a second, and she's. Do we want to wait for her to finish her paperwork and walk with her, or we just want to go on?
Let's wait with her, but if it looks like she's going to be late when it comes to her work, then we head on without her and just rendezvous at the tavern when she arrives.
Well,
Silver, do you know where the Lazy Crane is? Which you do, Silver.
yes, I do.
Alright then. So, you hang back a little bit. Any interesting conversations to be had? Or do we want to just skip to where you make your way to the tavern?
Well, Locke isn't starting any.
Yeah.
Onward to the Lazy Crane. It does turn out that Eleasis is taking a little bit longer, and you guys decide to head out without her. Otherwise, you're probably going to be making it to the tavern at dark, and you kind of wanted to get some rooms and some food, so you make your way over to the Lazy Crane. And as you're making your way closer, you see that there is business is booming here. There's not a crowd outside, but you can hear all sorts of commotion from from inside the tavern itself, and everyone seems to be excited and very into the goings-ons within the tavern. And having made your way into the tavern itself, Silver, you are greeted with a very different voice than what you have previously been hearing, but a rather familiar form of a black Kenku. Looks mostly like a crow in pink corduroys with a violet polka dot pattern shirt, bright orange pants, and a lime green necktie. He's very colorful.
Wesley?
And if you notice him, I would wager that. Hey, Kenneth, roll a perception check for Wesley.
Kentucky. I was just pulling up his character sheet. Give me a second. Perception.
And here we thought these extra characters weren't going to become relevant unless we needed backups. That's a natural one.
That's a natural one. Wow. 13. With this big kind of crowd, yeah, no. Even though, skill checks aren't automatic fails at natural ones, I was putting the DC to be at 50, at least 14 to spot silver in a crowd with all these people here. Plus you're in the middle of a show.
Yeah. I'm more focused on what I'm delivering.
Yeah. Also, you didn't roll that at disadvantage technically, but it's fine.
Because it's already on that one. Can't get much lower than that.
So, yeah, you don't spot silver in the crowd necessarily, but yeah, silver. Looking up at this Kenku, it looks to be very much the Kenku that you saw before. His outfit's slightly changed, but it's just as colorful as his last one was.
Wesley?
It is the Kenku that you know as Wesley.
Yeah, she's calling out.
He doesn't.
I would be in the middle of delivering from stage, so I might hear and look at her, but I'd probably continue delivering until I'm finished.
Yeah.
Oh. So I thought it was Rowdy. So.
I mean, it is, but and he would notice you. And what does Wesley do upon seeing Silver?
Silver's waving.
Instead of delivering my tale and just randomly head jerking side to side and looking around in random locations, now I'm like fixated staring at her, and I look very happy, but it's probably an awkward stare as I continue telling the story now directly to her.
Is it the same one that we heard in the one shot?
No.
Nah.
It is in a.
Okay.
It is in a
Silver
much.
was just like, why is he just staring at me? Like, what? Okay.
And I look happy. That doesn't make it less awkward, but I look happy.
Locke raises
Yeah.
an eyebrow and glances at our Wesley? What?
The bird man up there. His name is Wesley.
You know him?
Yes, I seen him in Yukiegi.
Shit. Small world, huh?
Yeah.
That should make this a bit easy if you're acquainted.
Mm-hmm. And the rousing, wonderful tale is finished, different than the one that Silver heard previously. Whereas the caricature that Wesley was imitating and speaking as before was a sort of nasally, lower toned, not the greatest at delivering stories in his own right, previous voice. This one is much more lively. This voice is the voice of a showman. This person knows how to work a crowd. And holy crap did he work the crowd. Or, well, Wesley, using his voice, worked the crowd. You have sort of a standing ovation of claps. You've come to the end of the tale. It seemed to be a sort of a rousing story about being able to be comfortable with who you are, being comfortable being different. It was a very sort of
Uplifting.
yes. It was a very uplifting sort of a tale to help one be comfortable and to inspire others and other various natures of that. You
I
actually
have a question. Just on the off chance Wesley winds up sticking around for a while. Has he been de-leveled to link up with the rest of the party level-wise? Just checking.
he has not, but we will cross that bridge when we come to it if Wesley ends up joining instead of other person.
I sort of foresee that as not being an issue because I fully intend to run the other character. But
Wesley gets him a crowd of people that come up, a lot of kids, that have come up to basically shower him with praise, more or less. And
I'm like randomly digging through my bag of miscellaneous odds and ends that I collect and keep, and I'm randomly handing out things to kids while not looking at them, not looking at my bag. I'm like looking out over the crowd, trying to make sure that I don't lose track of where my friend is, Miss Silver. And I'm without looking, I'm just like handing out all these gifts to all the kids around me.
Sounds like a
Mhm.
disaster to accidentally give a kid a dildo.
Thankfully,
well,
I have
luckily
not
he doesn't
acquired
have one of those.
in my journey.
Alrighty. So eventually he gets through with all the kids, and you see that there's also a few people within the crowd that, a lot like the warden and the person that you'd seen gliding through the air, you see some folks that are obviously of the thymic variety that have a little bit of mutations about them, mostly human and or Vidalcan folks, and not very many, but in and amongst with the kids, there's a few adults, and most of the adults are that. So, having done all that, he finishes. You now not have a crowd, and you're now free to roam and go wherever you like, Wesley.
So the crowd satisfied, I suppose, I will basically make beeline for the person I made sure didn't leave without me getting to say something. I will work my way over to her, and in a high squeaky voice that this player is not going to attempt to imitate, I'm going to say Silver. Yeah, yeah. Yes, that.
Oh dear God, sound just like her. Anyway.
My
Hello,
ears
Wesley.
are
How are you
bleeding.
today?
Let's see. In a very low, gruff female voice, but still a friendly kind of gruff, I ask, "Are you okay?"
Yes. Fine. I wanted to find a room before I had some business to do.
Like an excited little female kid, I say, "Go get him."
Yes.
This is 3 different voices in quick succession for Locke's purposes. Locke has encountered Kenku before, but not to this sort of a degree.
Yeah, I mean, he knows that they imitate voices, so it's a little jarring to hear them in rapid succession, but he gets it, so.
Yeah.
So, Wesley, this is Young
Young,
and Locke.
Locke.
Hi.
I sort of do a polite little bow in their directions, respectively.
So, Ira, do you want to take the reins here? I mean, you're the one who knows him.
Yeah, he was a performer that I met and did a small adventure with over at Yuki.
Not
Yeah.
what I meant, but I'll take it.
In Locke's voice,
You
I
can
say
take the rein
Ira.
of this. You know, I know more. What?
In Locke's voice, I say Ira, and I cock my head to the side, looking at Silver.
My full name is Ira Silverstein, but my friends
Well, that explains why he said so when we ran up to you. Good to know.
Yes.
But yeah, that's not quite what I meant. I meant,
Then what
why
do
we-
you mean?
I meant what we came here to talk to him about in the first place, about, the guy no one can remember.
What? Has he been arrested?
Lock face palms.
What? We were obviously looking for a Kinku that was arrested, so just plainly ask. Have you been arrested?
I would feel very ashamed to have been around you and had our little adventure together, and you find out that, and I would look very sullen and just slowly nod.
Why were you in jail? It's just, she's curious and just like, why?
In the young female voice that she used a moment ago when she excitedly exclaimed, "Go get him!" In that same voice, she introduces herself as, "I'm Midor's, but my friends call me Twitch. I need your help." And even though I'm saying in a sort of an excitable young kid sort of voice and tone, and it doesn't seem negative at all, I still look very sad, and I continue hanging my head in shame.
Okay.
And then I suppose in a Loxodon guard-ish voice, I say something along the lines of, "All right, then, you're coming with us, I guess."
Which you've actually heard that Loxodon voice before. He was one of the paraguards that you talked to before.
Oh.
So, something to do with a kid?
I nod.
So, wait, did you take a blame for something?
I would probably tilt my head and try and think, and I can't begin to articulate basically the happenings of what went on because it was complicated. So I would be like cawing and like gesturing, and it probably wouldn't make any kind of sense. It was a whole ordeal, and unfortunately, my ordeal did not have a narrator. So
Okay.
it was complicated.
So, are you getting any of this? Because all I'm hearing is caca.
Kaka!
He probably doesn't have any words to say about the conflict he went through.
Fair enough.
I pat Silver on the shoulder and nod.
That's fair.
Thank you.
And then Yong speaks up and she's... So... Okay. When you were in prison before, did you meet anyone in prison? Perhaps a Loxodon while you were in prison?
In answer to this, he would look up and nod, and in a voice that Silver would recall from the story from the other tavern where she met me, I would be matching that voice, and a sort of slow-talking, nasally, derpy, Loxodon, sort of gentle soul, random conversation bits. They don't necessarily answer your question, but I'm talking in that voice, and I'm nodding.
Okay.
Okay. That's better than what we had before.
Just trying to make sure we have this right, narrowing it down. Did you happen to know the name? If so, was it, I recite the name because I forgot it for a moment there.
Kadruil.
Gadriel.
Words.
I shrug. Wesley shrugs.
Well, better
I mean-
than nothing. It's something to go on.
So I look around. Do any of the tables around us, since we're still in the tavern, do any of the tables around us have like napkins or cloths or something?
Oh yeah.
I grab one and grab a pen or something to write with, a pencil or I don't know, quill. I grab something to write with and a napkin, and I scrawl out something, and I eagerly hand it to Silver and like almost force it into her hand.
Okay, and she reads it.
Can the GM make magic happen?
Yes, I can. Silver, you have a thing.
Under handouts.
Yep.
Ah!
It was very hastily scribbled.
Do you show this to Locke, Silver?
And she's just like staring at it, trying to comprehend what she's saying. It'll take her a minute. So wait, so you were chained up to the wall,
I nod.
and you're pointing at what are bars in this? With
I nod.
You don't know? Were you talking to someone through these
and-
bars?
I'm like nodding, I'm following along, I'm answering questions, and then when you say in something in here, I pause and look sort of lost in thought for a moment, and seamlessly break into just the intro. Once upon a time, there was a dragon who lived on top of a tall mountain. And then I'm like nodding, like emphatically.
Okay. So, yes, he talked to this person through bars and shows the picture to Locke.
Alrighty then. Locke, you will now have a thing. Oop,
This is fun.
indeed.
I will never run another King Coop, but it's fun.
Okay. This is morbid looking.
This is what we were just in.
Huh.
Would they recognize it as a room that they had been in or walked past or seen?
No.
Alright.
You see, just for clarity, all the rooms that you guys passed through, you saw when you went to speak to Locke's father, you went down a set of stairs to get into the basement where the prison
We were on
was.
the second floor.
Right. You went down a set of stairs to get into the basement floors that started the prison. You then went down another set of stairs that led to the second floor of the basement itself.
B2.
B2, and then you were led to his cell doing that. And then you were brought back up. You had seen another set of stairs in that room when you were originally going down, but you never went to a third set of stairs. And you never saw a room that was just the set of stairs and a narrow or a simple room with a couple of cells in it and shackles on the wall. Yeah, you don't have anything that look like this room.
Alright. Do you happen to know how far down this was? Because we only went down so far as I'm aware.
Sort of shrugging, I would imitate the Loxodon guard again, saying, "Okay, I guess you're coming with us." I'm not sure.
Yeah, alright.
I imagine my head would have been pretty well hung in shame that I was being marched into a prison. I probably wasn't looking very much at all the surroundings.
Anything else you can tell us? Because I mean,
I think-
everyone around seems to have completely forgotten that this fellow even exists, and except for like one, and she wants us to find out what happened to him.
I sort of think for a minute, and then I point down with one hand and knock 3 times on a table.
I don't know what that means.
Caca. The most steel-faced, not having any excitement, just caca. I pantomime walking in place while pointing down with one hand and knocking 3 times.
Number 3?
Can you write in common?
Actually, yeah, you can.
Okay. Then I
Let's
flip.
pass notes.
I flip the I just as hastily as I stuffed the napkin into Silver's hands, I snatch it back from her, flip it over, and draw a emblem that is probably supposed to be a staircase, and I put a times and then a 3, and then I hand it back.
So, okay, that makes a bit more sense. Down 3.
And I'm still pointing down.
Okay, all right, down 3. I get that now.
So
And as you say it, I'm confirming and I'm nodding. Yeah.
All right, so then he'd be on that bottom level then.
I would nod.
All right. I'm not sure what to
So-
do with this. Silver, Young, any suggestions?
well, I still have some platinum left if we want to make our way back into the prison again. Assuming we don't sneak inside.
It's almost nighttime.
Oh, there's that.
Yeah, they wouldn't let us in normally at this hour, so unless we wanted to wait until tomorrow to try and do that. But at the same time, if we keep showing up too much, there's a chance that might draw some unwanted attention, especially given a sort of nod over at Silver that you apparently have people in the city who don't like you.
Yes, and I would like to get to room.
All right, easily done. Tavern keep has
Having
some-
heard that, I would pull out of my tips and give them money for the innkeeper and point to the counter and nod emphatically, like hoping they understand. This is for you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Alrighty then.
Wesley
So-
would probably
So,
bow
River's
and have his absence from them.
Silver is doing something once we all go to bed.
Okay.
Alright.
What is Silver doing?
She is she'll probably be the last one to make sure that like everyone goes, and she'll go and make it seem like she's following them off to bed and
Mhm.
stuff. But like a few minutes after she goes into her room, she's going to walk out and leave the tavern.
Okay.
God, I'm getting abandoned again.
No, you're not.
Okay. Where are you going? Dark
We
outside,
put up-
but there's some magic fire lighting to have street lights, essentially street lamps. But yeah,
this
where are you
is gonna
going?
Be horrible, but yeah, she is going to make her way back to the warden's office,
Okay.
and she's going to be stealthy.
We'll
when she
do
gets
that then.
closer.
We'll stealth then.
And
Are you?
like
Do
I
you
said,
have your hood up?
Yes.
Red flags rising.
19.
Nice. All right. Okay.
So she's going to go. What is the lighting situation around this warden's building?
The warden's office is currently dark. At least the office itself is dark. There's a few back alleys, that sort of go around the warden's place on the edge of the block that it's on.
Any guards?
There are no guards posted outside the warden's office, but the warden's office is fairly close to the gate itself, which does have posted guards.
Do I remember seeing a window that he can view out of?
Yeah, there's windows on the warden's office.
Like one where he can like sit down, and if he like just looks, he'll see something. Like
Yeah.
a wall of a building?
He can look outside and see. In theory, you've been in his office before, so
Yes,
you
that's
can.
why I'm trying to figure out like where's like the window situation. Like, can he look out the window and see like another building like next to it?
Yeah. There's one of the back alleys leads to what effectively be what he sees when he looks out. And he sees the edge of the building to the next block and into the road, into the actual like walkway that everybody moves around on. Got a street lamp that's barely in view going at it from that side, but he can get a good view of the road from his office desk.
Not the road, a wall.
Oh, a wall.
Yes.
Like he has a window that leads to a wall of a building?
Well, that he looks out and he can see like a wall of a building or something.
Sure, on the other side.
Shit. Okay. Wait, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because I'm trying to.
It would be close if you go for the one that has the wall. It's technically closer to the guards that's at the gate. Like you're at the edge of the block at the corner, like here. And
Okay.
assuming that this brown brick is a collection of blocks and establishments and whatever, because
Mm-hmm.
small space.
Yes.
If you go around the building slightly closer to the gate, on the bottom side of the building, you have the entryway where he sees a wall, because the entryway where he sees a road is on this side. See what I'm saying?
Okay. And there's no back door to this building either.
Not back door to his. As far as where you know and what you can see, there's no back door to his office. Actually, wait. If you wander around the give me
Yeah,
investigation.
she's gonna go. Yeah, she's gonna go in the alley and take a look around.
Yeah, give me
Because she's gonna
investigation.
head basically at first to that wall. Floor. Nope.
Yep, nope. You can't find a back
Yeah,
door.
So she's gonna go to the wall, and you said there's barely any light.
On that side, yeah, there's not really a whole lot of light at all.
She's gonna sit there and like get her positioning ready and look at the window, look at the wall, look back at the window, and then she's
Okay.
gonna pull out her sword.
Oh boy.
And she's going to whisper something to it, and it ignites.
Uh
And on the wall, what kind of wall is it for one?
huh. It is mostly made of like wood and stone primarily.
Okay, she's gonna write on the wood part with her sword,
Okay.
basically burning it into the wood. Greed.
Okie dokie.
And that's it. And then she's gonna go back to the tavern and put her sword away.
Well then.
My bad idea alarms are going off something fierce right now.
Okay then.
Understand, she's a paladin. She doesn't like people who are corrupt.
For a second there, I thought you were going to leave that sentence to suggest she doesn't like people. I was going like, oh, this is my type of paladin.
Anyway. All right. So you do that. Good for you.
She
Okay.
goes back to the wait tavern. Did Young ever go to her room?
Hmm.
Did Young ever go to her room?
This time she did. Yes.
Okay. Then yes. Morning.
All right. So morning comes. I'm assuming Wesley is probably gets up fairly early and wanders off.
Yeah, well, Wesley's already moved on to the next town, probably.
You're gonna have to make his way out of this town first, which apparently takes a day to go through. Anyway, so yeah, Wesley has made his way out. Morning comes. Everyone slept in their rooms. Young did not sleep on the bar at the bar downstairs like she did before. All right. So everyone sort of meets up in the inn itself, having a simple tavern breakfast, which was also paid for with the gold that you got from Wesley.
I suppose so.
No, I mean he gave you enough to pay for room and board and food. So.
Okay.
The full package. Take off.
Mm-hmm. So, having done that, Young is like, okay, so what's the plan here? Do we want to go back inside, speak to the warden, and see if we can make our way inside the prison, or what are we thinking?
No idea.
I mean,
Call it an unhelpful answer if you want, but we're kind of stuck on that front, aren't we?
I mean, we have, we still have the scrawlings written down by the anxious bird bard. We have an idea for the room that he's in, at least. I don't think we could, and we at least know someone who had seen a Loxodon before. That's better than what we had to start with.
True. I'm not sure.
You're more righteous sort silver, I guess. What sort of something could somebody do that would get them in the third level of the prison cell? I mean,
could probably think of something.
That's so.
All right. Well, sort of going and talking to the arbiter or sweet talking the warden again or something. I know we don't want to sneak into the prison. That'd be a bad idea.
Oh yes, extremely. Good at sneaking as some of us are, we'd probably get all kinds of fucked up doing something like that.
So, wait, so you're trying to find out how to get into the prison at the 3rd level?
Essentially, I believe that's what we were discussing, yes.
Okay, give me a moment. She gets up and goes outside.
It's been
Did
a
we
moment,
follow
dog.
her?
I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see where this leads.
Let's
Once
do
she
that.
gets outside, she's gonna look around and see like what kind of guards are standing around.
No perception check required. There is probably 2 or 3 extra guards. One of them human, the other 2 are Loxodon, that are sort of investigating in and around the warden's house.
Oh, we're back at the warden's house?
No, you're looking around outside. The tavern that you are in is relatively close to the warden's house.
Okay. Not looking for any with like a Luxodon escort. She's like going to wander a bit until she finds someone that's yes. So
Someone that's a human, perhaps?
just like or whatever. Just not someone where there's like 3, just a single guard.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's fairly easy to do. The guards are always patrolling and wandering around anyway.
Yeah,
I mean-
she's just looking for someone that's just like one guard.
Roll an investigation to see how long it takes you to find a guard.
Oh dear God! If
You
it
will
takes me
find one, it
forever,
just- You will find one,
Nice.
we'll see how long it takes you.
11.
Okay, not so bad. So probably, you're sort of watching for the patrols in 15, 20 minutes-ish. Guard, human, done.
Good sir. Do you have a moment?
Yes, how can I help you?
My friend had a bet going with me of what does it take? Ask me a question. Not a bet question. Sorry, I've been drinking a little. Of what horrible things must happen in order to land and like the strictest part of your prison.
Uh-huh. Roll deception.
Yep, I was waiting for it. 14?
14. Interesting.
Shit.
Hold
Shit,
on.
shit.
Hold on.
I have so many red flags flying right now.
Alright
So
then.
that guard roll. So is that a good thing or a bad thing? Just cut-
Wow.
Okay.
Is that good or bad for you right now?
I
Alright.
don't know.
So the guard sort of looks you over for a second and he's so you're wanting to know what is
What rules that we cannot break so we do
Right.
not land
Any of
in your
them.
strictest any of them into like
well
worst part
if
ever down.
if okay the worst part of the prison you say.
Like, you know, the most security, like probably not gonna see the light of day.
Well, that element of it is a bit above my pay grade, but you're an interesting sort.
Really, thank you. You're interested in yourself.
Don't. The biggest thing, I would say, don't upset the crown. Don't do anything against the nobility. They are in control here. So, that would be the biggest thing. I wouldn't recommend it. They say that the worst offenders get grinded into dust. So,
What about below that? Just like max security. Like,
Do what?
Something that's torturous or could lead to death?
Well, yes. I would imagine that a torturous death being grinded to dust would be, but
Yeah. So what, you don't think, like, punching a guard or...
punching a guard would probably get you down into cell block 2. Or...
What about those big guards, those Luxodons?
Punch those, you're punching a tree. I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, you
Okay,
piss off
well,
the
thank you so
druids.
much.
Sure.
She
Hey,
wanders away. Yes?
wait.
Yes.
I mean, are you gonna come around here later? I'm gonna be done with the, done with my patrol in maybe 30 minutes to an hour. I'm sort of going on to the end of my shift. It's early morning, I know, but I'm sort of the night guard, so.
Ah, right. Do I know of any other taverns that's, like, further away from the Lazy Crane?
Oh yeah, plenty.
Yeah, she's gonna give him, like, one of the names. Like, you know what? I'll just meet you over at this tavern, because I'm staying at that one. How about that?
Cool.
Okay, see you then.
Bye.
She wanders off.
Alright.
He is going to be so disappointed.
So,
You
yeah,
have
she's
just reached the
wandering-
rejection hotline. The reason you have this number.
For what it's worth, we have mentioned before that Silver is very pretty. He rolled a
Yes, he
natural
is
one
very
on his
pretty.
he rolled a natural one on his insight check.
He's captivated by my beauty.
Yeah, something like that.
In the back of his brain, all that's going on is "Let me smash" on repeat.
Oh my god. So, Silver makes her way back to Locke and Yang.
Uh-huh.
It's been like a while since you left at this point, I imagine.
Nah,
Yeah.
maybe 20 so
Well,
minutes.
you guys said you were gonna follow.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay, then never mind. Yeah, I
This is-
come back into the tavern.
Ah, you're still alive.
Yes. So, one, don't piss off nobility.
Okay. Fuck
And
my father
two,
is
if you
evidence of
can,
that.
probably if you know how to make a Luxodon hurt, that might be a chance. Or you do something to extremely, extremely offend the warden. By what I'm guessing.
Huh. No, see, that's
Yeah.
all well and good, but that's putting us behind bars too. Which
Well, you said what would it take to get down into max security? Yeah.
okay, and see, okay, let's put that on the back burner as our last possible resort, followed up shortly by going home and then everything else.
Okay.
What other options do we have?
Well,
Wait, didn't your father do something to a noble family?
Yes, that's why his prison sentence went from 6 months to a year to 10 years.
10 years as
You
opposed
didn't
to...
get a name of that family, did you?
I did not. No.
Shit. Do we know anyone that works with the warden?
Yes, a certain Silver Dragonborn.
Yes, we know Elias's. We could
Then let's
Ask
go
that.
talk to her.
ask that really strange and alarming question. Hi, who do we punch to be sent to the bottom layers of the dungeons? Yes, that'll go over well in typical conversation, I'm sure.
No. No, I was just thinking that this family has influence that we could use to maybe buy, I don't know, 5 minutes talking time?
Assuming they even remember that this Loxodon exists, which seems to be the paradoxical conundrum of the situation. No one thinks he even exists, which makes getting an audience rather difficult. It's why we were hired to look into this in the first place.
Yes, but all the people that didn't remember are in the prison.
Hmm.
And the warden. The warden could be shutting his mouth because he was paid to.
Hmm.
That's actually a good point. As far as you
He's a
know,
greedy little fucker.
as far as you know, the only ones that are not aware of his existence are those in the prison, because those are the only ones you've asked.
Yes, so we've only asked these people. This happened.
Hmm.
So let's go find that nice silver dragon lady.
All right, I guess you're leading the way then.
I do not know where she's at.
Probably the
She-
warden's office. That's where she works.
Yeah.
Good point.
I love the way you said that. Good point.
With that, all right, shall we?
It's a little hitch in the first. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so shall we?
To the warden's
Yes.
office.
To the warden's
Yes.
office.
Okay, so Locke, you noticed that
It's like cordoned off with police tape or something when we show up, or whatever the medieval equivalent is.
There's like 3 guards there.
something like that. Yes, there's a sizable chunk of extra guard, and something has definitely went down at the warden's office as of late.
You can take the role on talking, buddy.
Well,
You're the one that suggested to go to the warden's office, so it's okay.
she was the one who suggested finding Elias.
Yes, finding her, not going to the warden's office.
I don't even know what to ask. You were the one leading this operation of finding influencers.
Fine. Okay. So let's just find her and ask her to join us for a cup of tea or something.
Okay,
Uh,
sure, that sounds.
So, roll.
And then just mind awaken or whatever you do with your freaky little mind, telling her that we could use a little help to try to get somewhere. So, if you don't mind.
So,
Okay.
roll perception.
Locke's gonna- Okay. And in the event
All of
that
us?
Locke.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. Perception.
18.
Mm-hmm.
2. 'Cause
Oh,
I'm
yay.
about as- 'cause I see about as much as a chicken nugget.
All right, so let me roll for Young right quick.
We need our all-seeing eye back.
Yes. So,
Well, we're the
so
ones who left him, so.
if I may
Well,
borrow,
we could have stopped by and picked him up.
okay, so if I may borrow, because it seems to be rather apt here, I'm going to borrow a phrase that Kenneth and me use all the time, referring to random crap. And Kenneth will know the phrase more so, and I'll get a great laugh out of him. Locke, the silver dragonborn lady Elias, she's nowhere to be found on Earth. Silver, she's right over there.
Hi. She like goes over.
Yeah, it turns out she's not on Earth, she's floating 10 feet above it.
Well, you know, you rolled a 2, so you can't find her. She might as well be on another plane of existence for what you know. Also, that phrasing is something that me and Kenneth say all the time. Nowhere to be found on Earth, but it's right over there. Anyway.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that. You've mentioned it a few times in the past.
That's the thing. This isn't technically Earth. So,
True. Anyway, moving on. She's over there.
yeah, so, well, Silver goes up to her. Like, look, where are you going? That's the wrong opposite way. She's over there.
Okay. So, question. Relative to Elias, what direction are we? Like, are we left, front, back, right, where?
About to her left. To her left.
All right, in that case, and thank you for that, by the way, I'll go ahead and once I'm within 30 feet, awaken mind to her and say, on your left.
She looks off to her left, and then inside her mind, yes?
And I'll go ahead and give her a quick recap of what we know at the moment. I'm brain farting over here, so if I try to do it in character, it's going to come out as a spiel of drivel.
Mm-hmm.
A quick recap of the situation and ask for advice before essentially passing the reins off to Silver.
Oh. Down in the... Okay. Give me just a second. And she finishes off with the stuff that she's collecting, and she's yet again just starting to work together with some morning errands, and she breaks away from the guards and comes to you guys where you're further away from the warden's house a little bit. Yeah, sorry, there's crazy commotion going on over there.
Yeah, I
What's
noticed.
going
What happened?
on?
Apparently somebody vandalized the warden's house.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
His house? Like, his
They-
house is right next to the warden's office?
Well, vandalized the warden's house. He technically, this technically is partially his house. He sleeps here. So,
Wait, so he sleeps at the office?
well,
Or the house
upstairs.
next to it?
Upstairs, but yes.
Not
I
that.
thought I thought the house was next door that was vandalized, not the actual building.
Well, technically. Well, there's vandalisms around the warden's office. Meh.
Okay.
Interesting. All right.
So,
Well, that's none of our business. We're just trying to find a Loxodon that everyone thinks doesn't exist.
yeah. So, Locke mentioned something about a Kenku something?
We managed to talk to him, yes, and he gave us a few more details. We have a general idea of. Do we still have the little drawing he did on the napkin?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so apparently it's laid out something like that, and he was talking to your Loxodon friend through a little window or something. The main thing we need is, if we're going to figure out what's going on with your friend, then we're going to need to get down there. The problem is, the only way to get down there is either having a really big favor, having important business, a crap load of coin, or getting arrested. And most of
Right.
those options we have already spent when I did my own personal business. I am pretty much out of money for that, so...
Right.
And we wouldn't be able to ask to visit him anyway, because no one knows he even exists down there, so we need another option if we're going to find your friend.
Wait, can I... She sort of looks over the scribble a little bit more. So he heard him from back...
There's
That...
tell, yeah.
That...
I just remember what okay, real quick, got a character. Was the 3 knocks meant 3 levels?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I was asked how many floors down was I? Do I remember? And I didn't. And I thought about it. And
the question. I just assumed with like what is the 3 knocks, and there's 3 floors. Third level.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, third level.
Okay.
I think Locke had asked me, didn't he?
Yes,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
Silver was
yeah.
there too.
Okay.
Well, now you're caught up on that.
So...
Okay.
So... Okay. Alright. I know the general idea of how the prison is, like, structured.
Okay.
And this looks like the holding cell. This is where... This room here is where those that are like going to be put on trial or haven't found a room for in the actual main part of the building go down to and then the Kenku was shackled to the wall, so he was there for holding for a time and then brought back up to go probably either to another cell or to be released, one of the two. I assume released since you talked to him. What could that bar have done to get anyway?
Mm.
Not a clue. And frankly, not my business.
So
I think he knows better now.
So what's throwing me is that it seems like, I mean, based on this and what you've told me, he heard the voice from through the bars.
Seems to be the case, yeah.
That's the holding cell doesn't have cells through the bars like that. Not that I know of. That's like literally he's talking to him through a a like. Wait a minute. And she gets a very, very worried look on her face.
Oh dear, I don't like that expression. That expression never spells good things.
If he heard him from there, then those aren't bars. That might be like an air vent. And if he is on the other side of that, and that's where he is, then he isn't technically in the prison complex to start with. He's in the... Most of the guards and other prisoners call it the torture chamber is all they know. They don't even know where it is exactly, other than there is... There is often a grinding sound, and anyone...
Silver's just like, just like at the sound of like grinding sound, she's like, oh, so that's what he meant.
Huh?
I asked a guard and he said something about the Lexodon grinding your bones.
Yeah, that...
What's the what's the exact words used? Like, what did it had to happen in order to get the grinding of bones?
Basically, it was... He said it was above his pay grade, but if you really made people mad, then the stories were they would grind your bones and you would disappear.
Okay. Yeah, she just relays that.
I'm starting to get vibes of magical trickery of some kind.
Or just a giant stone being rolled over you multiple times.
I mean, yeah, that too, but that wouldn't eradicate memories of someone, would it?
Oh, right, good point.
Yeah, you don't exactly forget someone when they're ground into dust. No, generally speaking, especially if you witness that, that just makes you remember them harder, because, oh, shit, that's traumatizing.
Yeah.
So, now, at the same time...
And forgotten about? Or no, and disappeared.
Yeah, the disappeared part, that's what's getting me here. That's what has me thinking that maybe there's some kind of magic at play, because I'm still learning a lot about magic, and most of what I can do is kind of pass down. It's not something I studied for. I can just, like, I kind of like snap my fingers and just let the darkness of Eldritch Blast roll around my hand for a second.
Whoa.
Kind of, yeah, I have this thing that I can just do because... Anyway, so my understanding is limited, but I have a hunch that maybe part of the punishment of those who are brought down to those chambers is no one remembers them. They're forgotten, and the part of that could be that there might be a material component to whatever spell that is. A part of the person, maybe bone, perhaps, since that's at the very core of our beings, of our physical selves. They are the framework.
Deep into this.
Look, I'm just speculating right here, all right? And when I get on,
that's fine.
Let me have my brain blast, okay? If it's wrong, it's wrong. But just let me pretend I'm a wizard for 5 minutes, okay?
Okay, come on, have fun.
So now again, this is all just purely speculation, hypothetical. I've got nothing but a hunch to back it up, but it would go in line with the way the guard phrased it. They grind your bones and you disappear. That's kind of an odd phrasing. They're not saying they grind you into dust, they grind your bones and you disappear. Now, either he just phrased it weirdly because he's adult,
or you die from the grinding and they just tossed your body somewhere.
Yes, but again, that wouldn't explain the forgetting him part. That's kind of what I'm getting at here. I just get the feeling that there's something...
But she remembers him.
No one else does. Except for the Kenku, but...
The Kenku does?
Yeah, but he was from out of town, as I understand it. So... But no one else.
And I used a zone of truth on a lady, and she thought if a Loxodon went down in a prison, it was for no reason because you do not see them down there.
Right. I guess
And
the only way
also, you can rule out the warden. The warden just took money to be silenced for it.
right. I guess the only way we can really figure out for sure is to actually get down there. But again, the question is, how do we do that without getting ourselves ground up? Because I mean, I like my bones. I want to keep them. And, you know,
I
and
mean, do any of you know how to pick a lock?
Locke slowly turns to Young.
I thought it was like he slowly looks at Silver like, why?
I mean, I do.
And then and then he slowly turns to Silver. Okay, so yes, but why?
And may need a distraction. Or at least one of you who have really good stealth. Find out if there's a secret entrance to the warden's house or office.
And Elias is right. And Elias
she's
is right there the whole time.
Yeah,
and she's
I
just
know.
like slowly just like have her fingers together, pointed out, just slightly tapping them together like, yeah,
Okay. So this is her speaking now, and she's
Young or who's Dragonborn?
Elias's
Okay.
Dragonborn. Okay.
Hi, we did not forget about you.
Right.
Roll deception. No, I'm just
This
Can I use your stuff?
Okay, I really hope
No,
he's
you're-
I really hope he's not hurt. But and she kind of looks around to see if there's any guards nearby. Look, the
Or
the grinding bones thing is part of it, but I hope it's a rumor. I haven't ever. I mean, I'm not experienced in. I haven't been here very long, but I've never actually seen, them bringing up dust or ash or whatever from them killing someone off like that, if that is what they do.
might be a secret way into that area.
What I'm saying is, I would at least hope to think that if this has happened to him, that he's not dead. In other words, the grinding of bones things is a rumor, I hope.
All right.
I've never seen evidence of it, and really no one has. The only thing that we really have to go on that is a few guards talk about it, sort of in snide remarks, and every once in a while, like, you can't hear it from out here in the warden's office and stuff, but if you're in the prison itself, sometimes, rarely, but sometimes you'll hear a very loud stone on stone like sound. And no one knows what it is, other than like the higher guards that won't tell anybody.
Oh, out of character, I have a theory, but not in character.
How does
So,
that distinction? How is that distinction made? What? So we're not smart enough to come up with this theory?
Hold on, let me look at her intelligence. Her intelligence is 1. Well, no, not really. It's 12, but
Anyway.
Modifier is 1.
yeah, her
Okay,
modifier
so-
is 1.
Miracles happen, just
Yeah,
saying.
you had me worried there for a second.
So what is your
How am I able to talk?
what is your theory?
Right?
My theory is it's an old medieval torture device, kind of. It's called the Wheel of Pain,
Oh.
where you sit there and you're like, kind of strapped to like this big pole arm, and you have to sit there and push and spin it around. And
That
it's
sounds painful.
grueling and it's heavy.
Yeah. Okay.
Or
So
they're just making flour down there. They're a bakery.
okay. So to okay. To give us a direction here, or well, give you guys a direction because I ain't doing it.
I kind of have an idea of getting down there. But-
Without you getting arrested, please.
Fine. Okay.
But
For a paladin, you are very eager to break the law.
did
I'm
you not
sorry.
say at one
Do
point?
you know how...
Did you not at one point say you were like a Oathbreaker paladin or some variation? You're against your temple
I'm
at
a
some point?
paladin of vengeance.
Anyway,
Out of character.
Oh,
I'm
so
that.
so you're Batman. Okay.
Yes, I'm Batman. And the thing is, I would like to get into the warden's house to be Batman.
okay. So just as insight from me, you didn't hear it from me, but see if you can talk to one of those higher end guards. See if you can find a higher end guard. They're the Loxodon with half plate and the
Kind
helm
of
symbol
figured
on
by
their
the
back.
concentration.
Hmm?
Is there any good home people? Like maybe ones that have not been supplied from a certain place? Maybe?
I mean, I would maybe, but yeah, that's my option. I got to get back to work over here, but see if you can find a way to talk to a higher end guard and maybe get something from them. But anyway, yeah,
And
I'm gonna head back this
really
way.
stupid. And I just had the really stupid idea to use the Awakened Mind on one of those guys from like somewhere where he can't see me and just make it sound like he's suddenly being haunted in his mind by the ghosts of people from the torture chambers or something.
Oh,
But-
dear God.
But I am not doing that because that wouldn't tell us anything. It would just be mean. And Locke, well, kind of an asshole mode right now, is not sadistic. So
Right. So, can we find one of these Loxodons by themselves?
If you guys want to roll to find one, roll investigation.
sure, I suppose.
5.
Well, at least I have a bonus in investigation. 4.
5.
Yuck.
Yay.
Oh my God.
Y'all are aware that Loxodon are sometimes found in.
No. With everyone looking around, it takes a bit better part of the day, but you do eventually find probably about like you were going around talking to everyone in the earlier part of the morning because you just woke up from the inn. Now it's getting to be about maybe 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and you have finally found a Loxodon that matched the description that she gave.
Fucking time.
And he is walking his way away from the castle proper, the castle ground, to one of the taverns.
Okay, follow him into the tavern. Get him drunk.
All right.
Get answers.
Okay. Fair enough, I suppose.
It should be noted he's a Loxodon.
Right.
Shit.
So, very high constitution, very high.
How much is a cask at one of these taverns?
The tavern that he's going to is like the tavern that he's going to. It's like 5 silver for a cask. He's
I'm
going much.
seriously wishing there was.
cheap.
I am seriously wishing that there was a spell called Spike Drink and that I could learn it as a warlock. Because that would be so damn useful right about now.
Well, I mean, there's like, drugs, druids.
Or you could find someone to stick their finger in this drink and.
And what?
You could find someone to stick their finger in his drink and make it sparkly. fizzy.
Oh my god.
Yes. Anyway,
Let's not.
so
Okay. So
you follow him into the
uh,
tavern.
sure.
All right.
And also a cask. It's a lot bigger
Oh, right.
than
Like the bit you're talking like the full on cask.
well, the cask that there's like a totally different sizes and stuff, but one that I'm generally talking about is like it is bigger than a tankard. It probably has like maybe uh 20 cups worth of ale
okay.
in.
20 cups worth.
It's basically like you can sit it up on the bar and put a tap in it.
Right. Calculator. 5 silver a cup. 20 cups would be what, 1,000?
100.
Or yeah, 100, which would then be a
So it'd be
10 gold
10 gold.
cask.
Yep, I don't have that much money on me. Never mind.
Are we wanting to buy him a cask?
We're trying to be friendly and get him drunk.
I mean, I still have 7 platinum. I could chuck one of those at this.
Well, let's try talking to him first, because you know.
Out of character, what's your charisma modifier again?
4.
Silver's is 5 or 4.
That's 1 higher than mine. So, Locke will kind of look at his hands for a second, then glance up at Silver. Okay, so I look kind of like a skinny, dirty teenage peasant. So chances are we might get more leeway if you do the talking, or at least the brunt of it.
I guess.
I mean, you look. I mean, being perfectly honest here, you're a lot prettier than I am.
I don't think Silver's
She
going to be
seems slightly
weirded out.
flustered at that.
Oh wow, really?
Just-
Okay.
Okay.
Look, it's just simple honesty, all right? Look. I'm dirty, I'm scrawny, and I have not bathed in months, okay?
Did you not have a bath at the taverns?
You should go do that. Young smacks Locke on the back.
I may chance smack her right back.
Anyway, all right.
Yeah,
So-
so let's go into the tavern.
Yep, heading inside the tavern.
And you said he has a symbol of helm on his armor?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Where is
Yep.
he sitting at?
He's sitting near the bar. And
Ribbon,
it should be noted-
silver.
It should be
Yes.
noted that the crowd in this tavern, though it is somewhat crowded, not so much as like other taverns and things. There's probably a good, maybe 8 or 9 people here total, not counting you guys. And as soon as he comes in and goes to the bar, the entire bar is giving him a wide berth. Like, we're talking, people are sitting as far away from him as they possibly can.
Insight
Shit.
check. Is this out of fear or out of just general respect?
Yeah. 7. For
People
mine.
trying to scoot their chairs through the wall.
20, not natural.
Combination, fear and wariness.
Are we sure we want to mess with this guy?
This is the only one that is by themselves that can get us information about that other, where the other Luxodon is, where Cat is. Okay, so we gotta suck it up, put our brave faces on. She's doing this. She's straightening herself out and stuff, and she's like looking like, giving like a serious face of like, "Oh, don't mess with me."
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In the back of
And then
Locke's
just
head, he's going to start
going.
remembering. Right. And in the back of Locke's head, he's currently going over how to cast invisibility.
And she just goes right in.
All right.
All right, fuck it. I guess we're going in.
And she's not caring about the wide berth everyone else is getting. She's going to the bar and sitting down as possible at the bar, not at his table.
Well, he's at the bar, so.
Oh, then not sitting close as possible, just sitting a few chairs down. Just like, as in, she's like, she knows she's in the weary zone,
Right.
but she doesn't give a fuck.
Right.
And Locke, and I'll have Locke assume a position nearby, like sit down at a nearby table that's empty and unoccupied, close enough to listen in and maybe awaken mind or even cast spells if he needs to in case things go tits up.
Young's nearby to you as well.
All right.
So, what you doing there, Silver?
Do they do trade here?
Do what?
Do they do trade here?
Are you asking that to the tavern keeper?
No, out of character, because all she has is a pretty redstone.
I mean,
Can we
they
just say
could.
that I had Locke? Can we just say that Locke passed you a platinum on the way in because of this idea of getting a keg and
Yeah.
all that?
Okay. That's fine.
Okay, then she's spending that one coin and be like, give me as much drinks as you can.
Oh. The tavern keep, who is a he looks to be a sort of he's a dwarf, and immediately, like, pun ever so slightly intended, is dwarfed by this Loxodon.
Yep.
And he looks a little grungy. He's a little bit older. His beard's graying just a tad, and he's like, "Well, all right then." And he gets down and gets set up with a cask.
Does he take the coin and bite it to make sure it's real?
Actually, yes, he does.
Oh my god.
It's real.
Okay.
And he gets the tag.
Yes.
He starts to get the keg down, and young Silver, you hear a veritable like snort, heavy snort.
She just like raises an eyebrow and slowly looks towards the noise.
The Loxodon is tapping his hands on the table.
Locke is wringing his hands together and adding a mage hand to the mix of the ringing. Just for good measure, 3 is to the hands
my
better
God.
than 2.
He's having a nervous breakdown.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a big fucking elephant man in half plate armor. He not fucking with that.
It's a tavern. Relax.
You're not near Locke.
Yeah, I'm like,
No,
I
no.
You're
She's
talking-
like looking at this elephant who's tapping his fingers on the bar, and it's just like, well, aren't you stingy?
Garrison is more interested in getting yours than mine because you paid him 10 gold. You're not from around here, are you?
Do I look like I'm from around here?
No, you don't.
Wrong, because I actually am from around here.
Hmm.
Of course I'm from around here. I am from the Silence Bluff.
Really?
You sound surprised.
I wasn't aware that a lot of the humans of that temple were left.
There are still plenty of humans left.
At this point, then there's a as the cask is set on the table or on the counter.
Well, thank you, good sir.
No problem.
She just takes some. I can have it first drink.
And then he goes and starts to get the more specific and somewhat pricier, at least compared to like the average ale, mixed drink that he was going to start making for the Loxodon before he was interrupted.
Oh, a mixed drink. Bit fruity, eh?
Stronger. Maybe a little fruity. What's it to you?
To each their own. She just laughs at maybe a little fruity. And just smiles.
What do you want?
Pardon?
He asks, what do you want? Because you're sitting closer than, like, literally anyone else.
I'm having a drink.
And yet you say that you have been from around here?
Yes.
Whatever.
And she just like kind of looks around and be like, Oh, is there a rule of like no one's allowed to be near you or something?
Not a rule. Just a common thread. Or trend, rather. Common trend.
Like I've seen some shit. I honestly do not give a fuck.
Do you think you can take a hit from me and not go flying against that wall over there?
Depends. Can you hit me?
That would be interesting, but I'd need a few drinks first.
Oh, come now. I'm willing to share.
Raises an eyebrow.
So she just stares to the cask.
Raises an eyebrow.
Well, have your fruity drink, and then I can share some of mine.
Uh-huh. Alright. Well, if you want to have a brawl, what do you say we don't do it here? I like this place. I don't want to destroy their wall.
Again, it depends if you can hit me. But yes, this is a very nice establishment. So where would you like to have this?
He looks to the tavern keep, the dwarf, and he goes, "You still have that back alley behind your bar, right? The one where, all your fun brawls happen?" "Of course." "Yeah, let's do that."
Meanwhile, Locke's thinking in the back of his head, I thought we were here to get him drunk, make him our friend, and question him, not break a tusk.
Who knows? Maybe if we were able to actually like hit him, he might become a little friendlier. He might be one of those weird people. Who knows?
Said via awakened mind in character.
Little person walks up to giant elephant person. Hi, do you like pain?
Where did this honey bean come from?
Good job, Kenneth. You broke him.
It was
Wow.
so unexpected, and now I want to start a story with that.
If you're willing to share drinks with this Loxodon, he goes over a few drinks or two. You got 20 drinks in that thing.
I'm willing for him to take most of it. Because she's just gonna probably just
Nurse
like
it.
sitting there enjoying, like she sits there and really enjoys it, but mostly kind of like as she's in. And
Okay,
yes, the more
so
she drinks, the more she actually spills.
this is not Riven who takes drinks better. What is the Azimar that you are?
She's not trying to get drunk. She's trying to be like, kind of goading him on, like, come on, have some more. You can handle more.
She looks like she's drinking, but she's not guzzling.
Yes.
It's for looks only, not for drunks.
Deception.
Ah, shit. 16. Yes.
All right. Fair enough. You're not getting drunk. He is.
Oh boy.
That's fine.
Oh God.
Let's see here. I don't need your character sheet open anymore. So, Loxodon, 10 drinks. Say 3. 2. And... Okay. So he's a touch tipsy, but he's not, wasted drunk.
That's fine.
He's got him a good buzz going, and he's you following him into the back. Do Silver or does Locke and Young follow them to the back alley?
It's a so.
If you want to do so, not seen, stealth, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure if we're drinking and stuff, we're kind of having a good time, getting people possibly interested on this possible fight.
Okay.
Okay.
This was not what I was expecting it to go, but I like this. This is fun.
Locke is having an internal panic attack right now.
Kadruil knows nothing of y'all's existence. He's
Not
having a
currently.
panic attack for no explicable reason.
So you're going to take on this guard then?
Sure.
All right.
I'm just letting her do that. I don't have any spells that I could subtly weave to make.
Yeah. I know. It's just going to be her, but that's fine.
She
All right.
raises a hand and does a pushing gesture through the air. But he's like, holy crap.
Okay.
You can't actually do that. I'm a disembodied voice. I'm going away now.
Yes. All right. Alrighty then. So you head outside. So
Yep.
we going with gear or without?
Ah. She looks him over a bit. It's just like, with gear is fine.
With gear is fine. Roll
Yeah,
me
let's
roll
make
me
it
a quick
interesting.
roll me a quick perception check as you're looking him over.
So it's
All right.
19.
So with the 19, you sort of look him over. He seems to be in half plate that it's the way it's fitted on his person looks like it's something that he can remove. You know how armor takes a bit of time to remove and to put on?
Mm-hmm.
The way it's designed, it looks like it's designed more to be easily maneuvered. And you also see that just ever so slightly underneath his armor, along his leathery hide that is a loxodon, you see, now that you're getting a better look at him, because dark vision, because it is darker out here, he has some rather interesting makings of tattoos that you can't see all of that's under his armor. And then, of course, since you said with gear, he reaches into the back and you notice that he is wielding a rather large warhammer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then he holds it in one hand and then just does a come at me gesture.
Hey, you said you think I can handle a hit, so you come at me.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, you said you wanted. And I told you if you can hit me, so come on.
Alright.
I'm just gonna start playing horror music over here.
He is rolling for his first attack on you.
Okay.
Rar. He
No.
missed.
I didn't have to use the shield spell.
Alright.
Okay.
So-
I'd be like,
Do you take how do you want to flavor this defense? Does he bounce off your armor or do you dodge?
well, that's the thing. How is he swinging at me?
Overhand swing
Is he
with two hands with a warhammer.
Just going overhead, straight down?
Mm-hmm.
She just steps to the side.
Okay. Alright.
It's just like, look at the hammer and like at the elephant. It's just like, told ya.
It'd be a lot easier if you hold still. Are you going to give him another swing? Or are you going to swing at him? I mean, you could technically take the dodge action if you don't want to swing at him. Which is, what, a +2 bonus to AC or some crap?
I'm not sure. But she will.
Attack rolls made against you have disadvantage if you use the dodge action.
Okay.
No, that's what Wesley would do, but Wesley is not here. All right.
Well, I just decided let's make it a little bit more interesting.
Okay.
She's going to like kind of point at him and just, you know, true strike. I don't know why that went twice, but it just makes me have an advantage on my next attack.
You have advantage on your next attack, and that is an action to do.
I have a bonus action.
You do have a bonus action.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, I can't since I didn't attack.
Right. You cannot bonus action attack because you didn't attack.
She could bonus action and talk trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it ends at the end of when it says the full round. It ends on my next turn, right?
On your next turn, you gain advantage on the first attack roll against the creature. So this would
She just waits.
yeah, true strike is implied. So what's your true strike look like? Do you like flash, or do some sort of weird magic-y thing?
She said she just pointed.
It says point a finger at the target in range. Your magic rate's improved inside. She's
Okay.
just like,
All right.
you
all right.
know, just in there like pointing at him like, you know, I think I can actually hit you really hard.
Well, you know what?
So it's his turn again.
It is his turn again. You know what? It's a good thing that's a cantrip because that spells a waste.
Why?
Because he's going to give you advantage on his next attack roll against you anyway. He's doing reckless attack.
Ooh.
What the fuck is he?
Swiggly a Berber.
He is
No.
Batman.
He misses.
18?
Hits.
Does an
Yeah,
18
that
hit?
barely hits my armor class.
Alright. So,
Like fucking horror electro dance music playing on this fuck's going.
was it... Because he's doing it with two hands.
And the goal was not to be hit? Question mark?
No, I just said he probably couldn't hit me.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And then my next comment was, I think I can hit you really hard.
There we go.
Woo.
Yeah, that's a +5.
Okay.
Minus 12?
Minus 12.
Okay.
By the way, see, that is a... And then... Do you have thingy thing at... Yes, you do. He's gonna swing again because extra attack.
Oh boy.
Which is still or that's supposed to be a +8, but not +5. That's okay. Missed anyway.
Misses.
Missed anyway. Go.
Misses. I feel like he hits me and I like kind of stumble a bit and he kept swinging and just like totally missed. She's like,
Alright. So you would technically
Yeah.
have advantage on your next attack.
yeah, no.
Twice, but that doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, let's see, what do I want to burn for this one?
I mean, technically it's next attack roll.
Which I'm doing next.
Alright.
So I'm going to attack him. Since I have advantage.
You do have
And I'm
advantage.
going to put smite behind it.
Okay.
Oh boy.
20.
Not natural,
20.
but that is definitely 20.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, that'll hit him.
Where the elephants can hold their liquor and the advantage rolls don't matter.
Okay, so first damage.
Thank you,
Ignore the
Kenneth.
fire.
Why ignore the fire? Oh, because it's not activated.
Because she
Right.
didn't whisper the command word for it.
Right.
And
Alright.
now she's going to burn a second level spell to do Divine Smite, which gives me... It's a 2d8 plus an extra 2d8.
What's the damage on smite? Radiant?
Yes.
Okay.
So, let me get my Dice roller. 27.
Oh!
Holy
26.
crap.
Okay, yeah, you hit him really hard. You were not kidding.
Yeah,
Good
it's like, oh, that's
God.
12 damage. Here, let me double that.
Okay, hold on.
So he takes 33 in total.
Let's see.
He
Well,
probably
I
has a
did.
reduction,
I didn't
okay.
actually stat him, but I know what his class is, so it's fine. Yeah, I know that's not going to kill him in one hit. That hits him hard, but
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
All right, that hurt. This is going to be fun.
Oh, God.
He cracks his.
Like pain.
I have to sit here and ask. I'm fighting you. How do I know you're not going to turn around and just throw me in jail?
If I throw you in jail for fighting me,
Yeah, you can sit there and say I attacked a guard.
the story's more fun if we just have this under the ropes or under the radar.
Oh, but what if I piss you off?
And so, a couple things happen here.
Okay.
Do.
Alright.
Yeah. Okay. So he like twirls his hammer in his hands.
Mhm.
Trumpets because he technically is an elephant, so it wouldn't be a roar. And goes to slam into you again. And as he does so, he like cracks his he like instant white knuckles on the
Ugh.
warhammer.
Uh-huh.
And all of you around currently see these spectral elephant shapes hover in and around him and then float and
Oh,
spin
he's an
around you.
ancestral barbarian. Oh,
And they're spinning around you currently.
alrighty. That it? Does he swing?
And then he is swinging. Was originally plus 8. Or no, was originally plus 5. It is now plus.
Yeah, that's fine.
It is now plus this. Boom. And then swing again because extra attack. There we go. 17. All right.
Yeah.
16 plus 17. Ouch.
Those who probably... I'm sure you guys can't see my health bar,
Uh-huh.
but I know the DM does. It's just a flesh wound.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
Okay.
My health's sitting at 14.
Yeah.
That was all just, straight damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so you're visibly weakened from those extra sets of hits then.
Yeah.
Alright. He looks you over. So you're weak, but you're still standing. Not many of those can...
I'm not weak.
Your turn.
She sits there and lays a hand on her holy symbol. She's casting lay on hands and she's dumping all 30 hit points back into her health.
Alright. Okay.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Next time this Loxodon goes to attack Riven, would it be possible for me to use Awaken Mind as he's making his swing to make it sound like there's an eagle shrieking nearby to try and distract him into a disadvantage, or would that not work?
This is
And as
weird.
a bonus mark, I'm gonna Hunter's Mark him, by the way.
Right. This is weird, but Awakened mind is you speaking, right?
I mean, it's communication, ultimately. It doesn't even matter if we know the same language. As long as we both can speak a language, we can communicate via awakened mind. I'm wondering if I can use it to mimic an animal sound or something to just distract him for like a second to give him a disadvantage on his next attack.
In
Roll
your
perform-
best Wesley impersonating voice, just say "caw."
Roll performance. It's weird, but do it.
Okay. All right. What do I get a plus 3 in that? 12.
Okay.
You sure I can't use deception instead?
I mean, sure. Roll
Now,
deception.
to be fair, he can hold his liquor, but he's had quite a bit. Should he get advantage?
Roll deception too.
26, and that's a natural 20 too.
All right.
Finally,
gets-
I can use my highest skill.
So he gets disadvantage on his next attack roll. He's using reckless attack, so it's normal.
All right. I'm not doing that again because I don't want to raise suspicions or make him think there's some ulterior cheating going on here.
All right. So it is his attack after you've done lay on hands because that's an action.
And then I Hunter's Marked him as a bonus action.
Right. All right.
Oh, wait. Does that count as a spell? Does lay on hands count as a spell?
No.
Okay, thank God.
Lay on hands is a magical effect, but it is not a spell that is cast.
It's a class ability.
Mhm.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Because if not, I couldn't cast Hunter's Mark. I could only cast a cantrip, that bonus action.
He missed you.
Yeah, good. Because I'm going to do... For this time, she's going to whisper to her sword
Oh boy.
and let blue flames
Oh boy.
engulf
All right.
and going...
That's a
Are you also doing
crit.
the Are you also doing the smite thing?
Yes! And
Oh.
also, I would like you to know, I actually do have another attack.
Oh god.
So,
All right.
first the damage. That's 8.
Okay.
And you did fire as well, right?
And the 21 fire goes as well.
All right.
And then add on
And
the
now-
smite damage.
I'm spurning a second level spell. Lot to do.
I think you're burning more than spell slots.
Yeah.
Just saying.
For 16 additional damage. And I have
Radiant.
to roll a d6. Right, 16 radiant damage. An extra d6 for Hunter's Mark.
I'm
One.
a
One.
calculator, so I can add all this shit up. Jesus Christ.
All right.
Now I make my next attack.
Yes, you do.
24.
24 hits.
That damage. And then Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
That's 61 damage in total.
Yep, I was about to say that.
4?
61 damage. However, any damage, you got to do some weird math here to get the actual damage that he took, because any damage that is not fire or radiant is halved because he's raging.
So the fire is half and my radiant is half.
No. Anything that's not your fire or radiant is halved.
Oh. Okay, so
Okay, so then
4,
subtract.
1, 2,
Um,
3. And then add the fire and radiant.
Anyway, point is, you smack him really hard.
Yes.
All right. He falls to one knee.
She's just like, don't fuck with me.
Okay,
All
that's
right.
51 damage total.
All right. I like this.
Still.
Damn.
He sort of like does almost a dismissive gesture with his trunk and relaxes a bit. These spiritual things that were spinning around your face just go, phew, and they're gone. All right. All right. So, is there a reason you came to talk to me?
Victory.
She does relax a little bit and put her sword away. And be like, actually, there is. What would it take to get us down, to get a trip down to your max security?
Max security?
Yes.
What do you want to go down there for?
I'm looking for someone.
Looking for someone.
Yes.
Interesting. Well, this fight was fun. I think that's reward enough.
Yes.
What do you intend to do with this someone? Just talk to him?
Judge them. To be sure.
Judge them. Okay. And
Hey,
who?
Paladin of Helm.
And who?
Cad.
Had.
Assuming you said the full name there.
Yes. I'm
Yeah.
saying the full name.
Because Knives doesn't know how to talk.
Yes.
Mhm.
I don't know how to English.
Alright. I'll get you down there. But there's one caveat.
There's a catch.
Yes.
'Kay.
You can't tell anyone that you were down there. And if you decide to release Kadruil, you leave town immediately.
Alright.
Sounds fair. We're kind of on our way out after we get him anyway.
Alright. I'll take you there. Are you and
Okay.
your friends going to go then?
Friends?
I saw who you came in with. You weren't alone.
Yes.
He sort of
Maybe
looks
that's
up.
fine.
He sort of looks up. He didn't see Locke, but he saw
Young?
Young. I see you back there, Missy.
How is Young in Locke as they watch Riven just powerhouse this dude?
Silver.
One, you're not Riven.
Silver,
Yes.
but you know what I meant.
Alright. So,
Locke is secretly terrified and maybe a little impressed.
Be like, okay, yeah, good thing
And-
she's on your side. For now.
so, you got a name?
Is he asking me or?
Yeah, he's asking you.
You can just call me Silver.
He holds out his hand to shake your hand. Solemn.
She shakes it. Nice to meet you.
What's the name again? So I can write it down.
Solemn.
Solemn.
So they're a very serious person.
Alright. So, if we're going down there, you're going to have to go in chains so that no one around realizes it. And if you decide to leave with him, he conveniently knocked me out.
What about the other guards that are on the higher floors?
What, you talking in the big prison facility down there? We're not going there.
Is that not where is it? Okay.
Alright. So,
Locke is just going to awaken to mind to Silver just for the hell of it. And so the Thlot Pickens.
So it's like,
All
where
right,
shall we
so
go get these chains?
you guys following him,
Oh, we're going right now. Okay.
or are we
Well,
going?
did Locke come out of invisibility?
He wasn't invisible. He was just sneaking. But yeah, I guess
Oh.
he comes
Did
out
he-
of sneaking. He
Did
had invisibility ready to go in case things went not
Right.
favorable, but he never
Okay.
actually used it.
I thought he
That-
did.
No,
Also,
he had it ready to go though.
also, did one of you have some either a pet or a friend or something?
No. Like
There's
Locke's
some
coming out of
magic
hiding at
going
this
on
point.
here.
I mean, I gesture vaguely at the two of them.
And just like I have.
Fire and elephants.
Yes,
Where
at
did you
least
come from?
you're a warrior, and you look like one. He looks to Silver. And you
Good
look
point.
like you can keep yourself together pretty well as well. He looks to Young. You, however, looks down at Locke.
He's suspicious.
If you're going as a prisoner
He's
and in
perfect.
chains,
It's like he's perfect. He looks just like perfect prisoner type, doesn't he?
he does. But if he's going to this cell and we want the appearances to look right, that means he's a mage. I don't know what you are to begin with, but if you have some sort of magic,
I awaken mine to him and go, "Kaka." It's kind of a questioning imitation of the distraction I made earlier.
that's what I thought. He reaches in.
I just give a sheepish grin.
He reaches into the pocket of his garb that he has and tosses something to you. Locke, roll Dex, see if you catch it.
Oh, great.
It's pocket sand.
Pocket sand. That's an 18.
Yes,
Catch
you,
sand.
you do indeed catch it. As he tosses it, he says, "Put that around your neck." It looks like a choker or a collar of some sort.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know why I expected anything different.
Uh,
I give him a
is
look.
that-
Is he being upfront with us right now? Like is he being legit, or is he actually just
Roll
gonna check us on
insight.
the side? Okay,
Would
That's
Raven
a
know
seven.
what it is?
Silver.
Would
Silver know
Silver-
what it is?
You had heard rumors of it, perhaps. Roll history.
I'm just assuming it's easy enough to deduce that this is like an anti-magic collar.
That's what I'm thinking.
It is.
16. Oh, okay. Sorry,
Yep.
Locke.
And based on your insight, yeah, he's fairly, he seems to be on the up and up on that end.
All right, whatever. I slap it on my neck, and then
Okay.
kind of offer up a quick apology, like in my head, just like, "Hey, I'm Vindsvept. Don't flame me for that. All right."
Alright. So, that's not what he says. You don't hear his voice at all.
I
but,
figured. He kind of
yeah.
shows up at the weirdest times.
The book starts flapping just angrily.
So you guys are going in shackles, sort of chained together
Well,
in a
that's the thing.
row.
Where are we going? Was he carrying chains on him?
No, he has to get them. But
Okay, so we're following to go get them.
he had the collar on him,
Right.
and he had rope on him, which he's sort of tied you together with, but he doesn't have actual chains yet. Yeah, you go with him. It takes a little
Go
bit.
get our chains.
Go get some chains, and you all get chained together. Locke has a anti-magic collar around his neck.
So, is he gonna take our weapons?
Yes, he does. Those of you who have weapons. Obvious weapons, I should say.
Shield, sword,
Shield, sword, gauntlets.
gauntlets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going to give him a perception check right quickly. Beat by Young's stealth. Yeah,
No,
okay.
is she hiding something? Wait, hold on. Is she hiding something?
She was trying to. He sort of looks. He
It's
sort of goes
deception.
through. No. It is, or I guess it would be deception, wouldn't it?
Or sleight of hand.
Yeah, it's closer to sleight of hand. You're right. Okay, so still against his perception roll for sleight of hand.
Well, yeah.
Okay, that time she did better. Okay.
Okay.
So he gets Young's gauntlets. He gets your sword, your shield, your armor.
No, she can still wear her armor. She just can't have shield or sword.
I mean, it's weapons, but the armor is armor. It's obviously
Yeah,
armor.
so-
But
Wait, where's
I'll
he
let-
gonna store it at?
he lets you. He'll let you have it.
Okay.
So chains.
Because I'm just thinking, oh, you're right. They might take just the armor away too as well.
Yeah, she would.
Okay, that's fine. Like, do we know where he's storing all these?
He seems to be collecting them, and then he puts them together in a very essentially it's a very large haversack that he carries with him. And
I told
it's
you,
A
man,
bag?
big pockets.
a big
Is
like
it a bag
backpack,
of holding?
perhaps. You don't know.
Okay.
So he gets he has that, which he got that bag when he was getting your chains as well, and chains you up, shackles you up. You're all shackled
Yeah,
together.
at this point, she's like, Silver looks just like she did at the other tavern, just clean tunic, pants, boots. Yay!
Mm-hmm. All right, and into the
Dungeon?
Those-
Question mark.
into the castle grounds, off to the side. You guys remember where you went in, went down. There is a tower of sorts. It looks like one of the other barracks or tower. And he's leading
Are we
you to.
going up?
Well, he's leading you to a tower that
Okay.
looks like it would go up. And so he leads you inside, and you are presented with. Let me get your tokens.
Going on adventures.
Yeah, actually,
Keep all
change.
arms and legs inside the vehicle.
He's leading with Silver first. I'm not going to bother to have a token for him at the moment, but he's totally
That's
there.
fine.
And he leads
Yeah,
you.
she's first because she's dangerous.
He
Roll a
leads
charm
you.
check.
He leads you into a tower in a very, very, very wide, round, not wide, round room. And as you come into this large circular room, you see these very large statues that are placed on the north and south edges of this circle.
Can I insight him just to make sure that he's keeping his word and we're not going to get thrown in jail all of a sudden?
Roll insight and also roll perception. Both everybody. At least the perception is everybody.
16 and 17 for me.
3. Okay, Young, what you got? Don't do that.
9.
Okay. Alright, so Silver, not Locke, and Young would see it. You see, as he's coming into this large circular room, that all around the large circular room, in the ground, on the edges of this circle, are grooves, as if something's been pushed. Oh, and actually, yes. I forgot to say, he did actually, when you went into a tower, he went into a, before he came to this room, rephrase, because I forgot a step. I'm excited because you're actually going to the right spot. Yay! Anyway,
About damn time, right?
so he led you into a room that was a circular room just like this one. It looked fancy. It looked like a hall or an office for a bit. He goes off somewhere off where you guys are chained, and he like sets the chains latched somewhere, and he walks off to the side, and you hear almost like a Minecraft piston redstone click sound, and a stairwell opens, and then he leads you down the stairwell, and then he gets to here.
Okay, and what about my insight? Just making sure that he's keeping his
Yes.
word.
He's keeping his word. He's leading you to the cells, not necessarily going to put you in the cell.
Okay.
He's basically giving you an audience of sorts.
How does he look? Have we passed anyone else? Like any
Yes.
other guards?
Yes, you have passed other
How
guards.
is the guards looking at him?
The guards are seeing him in chains, or seeing him pulling these chains and these other people. And
He's fucked up.
yeah, he is. And he has scuffs, bleeding, all sorts of craziness. And
Riven's just sitting there looking a little proud of herself.
the guards sort of one of the other guards like steps in front of him and tries to stop him as he gets to the tower, and Solemn is just, I got these three. We're skipping the holding room for now. We're putting them down here.
Riven smiles. You might be next.
Oh yeah. Okay. So.
Riven can still, Silver can still speak, right?
Still speak? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, she looks at the other guard and just smiles and be like, "You could be next."
Yeah, she's
randomly
a bit of
razzes him and blinks one eye.
No.
And Locke is just randomly gonna grumble like a really short nursery rhyme, except it's in deep speech and broken deep speech at that. And
So-
This is where I'd face palm with Mage Hand if I could.
So he sort of jerks the chains, and you gotta watch out for these three. Reflex or dexterity save, Locke.
Aw.
Specifically you, because you're weak and frail, and no one else is.
6.
Oh.
You stumble into the floor, but don't actually fall all the way to the ground because the chains catch you.
I will say in deep speech, your mother was a hamster.
All right, and onward to the circular room that you're now in.
And do any of them react to the strange guttural language I'm currently spewing?
Actually, no. They seem perfectly okay with that. They're almost used to it at this point.
Oh boy. How fucked up is this city?
Real fucked up.
How crazy are some of the prisoners that they put down here?
You know what? That is a valid
Or-
counterpoint.
Do they actually understand?
That too. So,
Can I tell?
no, you can't. It's a language thing. You can't tell.
Can I tell if they understand? I mean, insight check to like recognize.
Sure, insight.
Okay,
It's just an eye roll. Like, okay, yeah.
that's a 21.
Ooh,
They have absolutely no clue what you said, but they're used to hearing the language.
Oh, good. Then that means I can say the absolutely stupidest shit and be perfectly fine.
Here.
like your mother was a hamster.
Indeed. All right, so
Oh.
Your
He
dick
comes
looks
to-
like a loose hose.
he comes to this circular room, and he sort of pulls you three into the center here, and he sort of sets the chains down for a moment, goes over to this statue here, and following along with the grooves that Riven or Silver has seen in the ground and Yang has seen in the ground, he pushes against this statue, which the statue seems to be made of mostly concrete and stone, and it is maybe over take his height and half his height more, bigger than him.
Ooh, so it's like
The ceiling is high in this room, even though it's underground.
Beautiful. guys must transport some big things down here.
Wouldn't you like to know? And he he basically shoulder checks and then pushes the statue. And the entire the entire floor that you're on spins like a circle. And let me do this thing.
Somebody
token.
can mysteriously hear this.
Yes, you can. Actually, no, you can't because you would have disadvantage.
Aww.
Why would he have disadvantage?
Because he's
It's
hearing
pretty
it through
loud.
solid. Oh yeah, it is really loud. Never mind.
Yeah, because
I figured
Although-
it'd be advantage.
is this?
Anyway.
Can we like kind of deduce that this is the sound that everyone hears about grinding bone?
Quite possibly.
Okay.
And it goes over here. And
The statues slowly reorient themselves.
yes. Well, I'm not so great at that. Sorry. And you are presented with a. It doesn't really look like it here on this map, but it is a hallway and room, and way far in the back there is the darkness of a cell. And you see no discernible way to get into these cells themselves. Like no discernible door that you can see currently. And way far in the back, we now have a person who can see light. Because you're a Loxodon that doesn't have dark vision.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
You now see light and movement, and you hear rattling of chains, and you see one of the Loxodon guards that you have not seen in quite some time. Surprise, surprise, bud. You have some visitors. Jerks the chains again. Dex safe, Locke. Okay, a little better that time. He wasn't intending to make you fall, he was just doing it for dramatics.
Alright, this time I'll say your trunk looks like a leaky dick hose.
Alright then.
Speech.
And he pulls you guys closer to the room down here and sort of knocks on the bars. Kadruil, get over here.
Am I supposed to have a token somewhere?
Oh, right.
I don't exist.
You do exist. I just gotta
I also
reveal
have
more.
night vision, by the way, so I can see into the cell.
You would see into the
So,
cell
like-
where he is. Ba-doop. There you go.
I
Oh,
can
he
see.
has a suit.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
So yeah, I imagine that I would be like sitting somewhere in the cell, and I will close the book that I was reading and set it down and get up and see what all this ruckus is about, because I'm not used to seeing people like forever.
Nope.
Let's see. So, yeah, I would turn to the guard and look sort of puzzled and, so why are you here today? What's going on?
Question for the DM. Am I still capable of using Awakened Mind through the collar, or does that count under the purview of what it blocks?
It's magic.
I sort of looked. I looked up a lot of forum posts for how, like, anti-magic collars would work, and I've sort of played around with the specifics. If it's not an actual spell, you can do it, but it will hurt you.
Oh, okay, so Awakened Mind would cause me physical pain.
Yes, but it would
Okay,
work.
then I'll hold off on that then. All right.
All right. So, Kadruil, you see a human-looking woman, a sort of scrawny looking kid and a dwarf woman in chains that have been pulled up with one of the guards. And
Let me check. Is Young still in chains?
I mean, she could.
I know. It's just a
Um,
thought that she just like sits there and be like, "Okay, let me unlock you guys now," and she just drops him.
actually, the guard sort of sets your chains down and sort of walks over to the edge of the circle here and sort of leans against it. And as he passes, he sort of looks at Yang, and he sort of got to look over her gear when he realized that she was, or he sort of got to look over her gear when he was sort of testing out and looking over her equipment and stuff. And he just sort of gives a passive gesture of he never saw a thing. And yeah, Young is going to thieves' tools her way out of these chains.
Oh, nice.
Not very easily, but she's working on it. Anyway,
Okay.
so you look over to Young to see if she's still in chains, and she's
Kind of fiddling with them.
yeah,
Like, these are uncomfortable.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I know.
No, they're not meant to be.
All right.
So, hello. Kadruil, I presume?
Yes.
Oh, that's a voice.
Real quick. Hold
yeah.
on.
My
Excuse
brain
me.
literally pauses. It goes from a half a mile an hour to like 0.
By the way,
Sorry
by
to
the way,
interrupt.
both
Give me a
both
second.
of you clearly hear the voice that Wesley was using in reference to said person.
Okay, never mind. Continue.
So you are the first people that I have seen in years.
It looks like
What
we
is
might be
the
cellmates.
occasion? Huh?
We might be cellmates.
That would be great. These walls are very boring. Yes.
So, question. Okay, let's just cut to the chase. What are you in for?
I'm not exactly sure what I did per se, but I think it was maybe that I learned or read something that I shouldn't have, but they didn't even bother to tell me what that was.
Are you lying?
Insight.
No.
I mean, you can roll insight on him if you want. No.
Eight. Okay. All right. That's odd. There's a silver dragonborn lady in the city proper, Elisis, and she was the one who tasked us with figuring out what happened to you. If I'm remembering what she told us correctly, she said that you just kind of disappeared or something, or...
Usually I sign the paperwork from the other side of the desk, so to speak. But depending on who you offend and how proper you do, the higher circle has a way of making people disappear. Perhaps easier in my case, because I usually sat behind a desk and did this kind of paperwork for other people. Paperwork pretty much only for the inner circle.
Define disappear.
Locked away for years, not spoken of. Have you seen this person? No. The mind tends to forget when you give up looking, something like that. Yes.
I am going to okay, no, never mind. Hold on, that was still hurt, so I'm not going to do that. I was going to do that thing that just lets me detect magic freely, but that's technically a spell, so I can't do that right now anyway.
Right.
I cast it without materials or spell slots, but it's still a spell, so I'm not going to do that.
Okay. Young is still fiddling with the chain.
Well, she's going to be busy with that for a while, apparently. Though, Does Elias sound familiar to you? Because I'm noticing, it might just be me, but I think there's like a hiccup in her story or something. I mean, the way she was going about it, the way she was asking us, it gave me the impression that you had disappeared recently. That it was a recent occurrence. But if you've been down here for years, then...
Yes, I've lost count, obviously, but I would assume maybe 5 years, 7 years, something, I don't know. Seems forever ago. I was doing paperwork for the court, and she came, and she was a regular correspondence, maybe once a month, give or take, sometimes twice if we were really busy. She would bring paperwork in, and she was very nice. She was a new apprentice. She was worried that she wouldn't impress them and might not get a full job doing it. But she was very nice, a break to the monotony of all the paperwork. And I think that maybe she thought the same of me. Sort of a highlight of the day, seeing her come in and seeing what's going on outside of the inner court.
Okay.
Is she doing well?
She seems to be. She's working for the warden's office.
Ah, great. Grand to hear
Yeah,
that
he's
she
a dick.
actually got the job.
What'd Silver say?
Yeah, he. Yeah, the warden's a dick.
No perception check required. You hear a discernible snort, similar to the one you heard in the tavern before.
Like a laugh or.
Yeah, like a laugh. You also hear a as Young finally gets her chains free.
It's like, I did it! Finally!
And now, Locke, you have someone fiddling with the lock on the back of your collar thing.
Easy, watch the hair. I haven't brushed it.
Yeah, continue.
Does Jan seem to be pleased that she finally got a success?
Yeah, pretty much.
I clap for her.
Why are you rolling performance for that?
Yay! Good job.
Young sort of raises an eyebrows and momentarily distracted, like, what? Okay.
You seemed very happy, so it made me happy. I'm sorry.
You are a very strange creature,
So,
Kadruil.
what did you exactly do to end up in here?
I already asked that. He said, not
I
really-
apparently know too much. You have to be careful. I'm really smart, apparently.
I look back at the guard and raise an eyebrow with this kind of like a, what? Look on my face.
I don't know. That's what they told me.
He learned something he wasn't supposed to know. He didn't interact with very many others outside of the inner circle, so it was easier to make him disappear.
What, does he, like, know the color of the princess's underwear or something?
The princess does not wear underwear.
And Locke's...
Really?
And Locke's pubescent teenage mind immediately starts picturing things like, okay.
Where is this princess?
I read that in a book one time.
Oh.
Oh.
So,
Speaking of, who rules this town?
do what?
We've been staying in this town, but who runs it? Like, who's the top dog?
If I had to crack a guess, it would be a slimy little dick called Corruption.
No,
Yeah.
it is actually us.
You would know her as the high top dog person is this chick.
Queen Phoebus.
Mm-hmm.
And what kind of person is she?
A queen.
Yes.
Yes, a queen.
I'm guessing, based on the name, that she is something to do with the Fae and is a total bitch, but that's just speculation.
I mean, obviously.
Human. Locks it on, but
The answer to that, Kadruil, is Dragonborn.
Dragonborn. Yes.
What kind of color dragonborn? Got her
A
attention.
pretty color.
It is a pretty color.
Like my color?
Yeah, I
She
told
sits
you.
there and shows the back of her hands, just like wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
No, not her color.
Oh.
Her, you haven't actually met the queen, but people have described her as being a little bit more red.
Shit. Okay.
But anyway. Continuing on with the monotony of the thing and the boop and the... Okay. She's slowly working her way to get the thing off of you, Locke.
Okay. Well, Elias wanted us to figure out what happened to you and why, but it just strikes me as odd that she's been trying for that for a really long time. Oh, there was this big gap between when you actually disappeared and her starting to actually get worried about you, and I don't know, something about that just strikes me as a little off. Maybe I'm missing something, but it just seems weird.
Well, she was one of the few people from outside the court that I would regularly converse with. As such, perhaps she found it odd that I was absent when she came the next time. And maybe she did not accept that I was unknown in location, since I rarely got to see outside of the court in the first place. It would make me suspicious as well.
I sort of look at the cage for a second and then give a questioning look at my companions before saying, so, hypothetically speaking here, do you want out?
Oh yes, I would like that very much, yes.
Are you a dick?
No. I don't think I am.
I turn back to the guard for a second and raise an eyebrow again.
He's... As far as Loxodon go, he's a more peaceful sort.
More peaceful, doing like 30 damage in a turn. Sorry, go ahead.
Is that what is Salem saying that, or is that you saying that?
Salem is saying that, or Solemn is saying that. He's a much more peaceful sort.
All right. So aside from apparently knowing a thing he was not allowed to know, he's basically harmless?
If you wanted to put his a flaw that, well, to those here it's a flaw. He was
How
a
about
li-
I answer his question if he said it out loud?
Yeah, sorry.
I prefer books and writing and reading and daylight, but when I fight, I remember nothing, but regret everything. I don't like fighting very much, only as a last resort to protect my friends, nothing else.
I like that attitude. All right. Well, apparently letting you out is an option, although doing so means we'd have to leave.
And
I
there's
would
still
very
something I
much
would like
like-
to do.
Sorry,
And-
what?
She speaks up and it's like, I still need someone to unlock the warden's door.
What do we want to go to the wardens for? Says Young.
He's a warden that accepts bribes. What do you think?
What, are you gonna steal from him?
Tempting, but no.
Why do you need to see the warden?
I don't need to see him. I just need to get into his office.
Oh, did you leave something in there?
Yes.
Let's go with that.
Would I, by chance, remember where the warden would keep the key to the locked door? Would he, if I do remember, would I be able to find it there if I led them to it?
That's a thing you would have to keep.
I used to have a lot of access with the inner court, and I used to see where the more important people were and did and how they did stuff. So I'm stepping in the dark. I don't know if I have such an ability, but I'm asking.
Roll wisdom. Wisdom check.
I am very smart. Poop.
Nope, you don't remember.
I remember there is a warden, yes.
Actually, with a 7, you remember the warden, and he was very strange.
The warden was a very strange
Person.
person.
There we go. There we go. Okay. Okay, then, Young, are you having any progress on this collar? It's starting to chafe.
Yay! Finally. Chink.
Oh, thank gods for that. I popped my neck a few times. And then,
Just because.
and then
I'm curious.
Hooray!
Just because she's curious. What is there anything special about these chains?
No.
Now I'm going to do my free cast of Detect Magic and look around and see if there's magic in the air around here of any kind.
Silver is gonna like attempt to just break the chains apart.
Drink check.
And what do I get with my
15.
Oh yeah, okay. So it takes you a bit, and you're sort of yanking at him a few times, and then the entire chain link
So
is
she
just...
still has like the bangles around her wrists, right? But she can move her
Yeah.
arms freely. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that'll be useful later, says the guard.
Yeah, it'll corroborate.
Gotta
your
make it look
story.
real.
Alright.
Oh, how do you want to be knocked out?
So, detect... hold the phone on that. Detect magic. You say,
Yep. 'cause
what's
I
the
can
range
have,
on that?
30 feet.
30 feet. No. There is no source of magic that you can sense in the immediate area.
Alright, I'll turn that off then.
Actually, wait, 30 feet you said?
30 feet, standard movement range, yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, no, you can't.
Okay. Alright, well, how about this then? We were planning on leaving after we were done with this errand anyway. We had plans on returning to Yukiegi, at least I did. That's where my new home is, essentially. So, leaving Karakul isn't really much of a problem for me. That is a problem for either of these two, though. So,
Caberton.
Caberton, whatever the hell the name of the town is we're in.
I would like to also point out we have a slight issue.
Huh?
How are we gonna take him out past the other guards?
I am capable of walking.
I don't think that's quite what
I'm
she
sure
meant.
you're very well.
I sort of, can I lift up my hand and, like, as a cantrip, just turn just my hand invisible using just a fraction of the invisibility spell? Can I
mean,
do
yeah.
that just as like a... I can, make things disappear in a more practical way?
Ah, where did your head go?
My
Hand.
hand.
Hand. Where did your hand go?
Oh great.
That
he's
was
freaking
very
out. Okay,
disturbing,
calm
and now it's
down.
not.
It's like I, yeah, like I, so like I turned to you and it's like, oh, well, put your face up against the bars.
Okay.
I do it.
And I pet your trunk with my now invisible hand.
Ah,
Yeah, see, it's still here. It's just, yeah, see, I still have a hand. It's just invisible. And I can do that to you. I can make you invisible so that you can not be seen, which would make getting out of here a lot easier. But here's the thing.
yes, I
Obviously,
can feel your
wait.
hand.
Yeah, okay, I make it visible again. So Elias just wanted to know you're okay, and I kind of don't want to leave her hanging because that's just rude, and a lack of closure is an awful feeling that I'm way too familiar with, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. So, let's say, do you happen to remember, say, where she makes her residence? We could probably locate her on the way out so that you can give her a quick update, maybe say some goodbyes, and then we can head out because we're probably going to be hunted all night long, and on the way we can probably deal with Silver's thing or some quick rendition of it.
Sure, we're going to go past there, and it's nighttime already.
Right.
So
Getting
we
there.
can just sneak
Yeah.
around. Yeah. So, Silver's picking up the chains that link them.
Mhm.
If it is so imperative that we leave, it might be best that we leave as quickly as possible. Perhaps I could use it as an excuse to write her a letter. Sadly, I can only write to myself in here. But outside, I could write to her. So, yes, maybe we should just leave.
All right.
I would be okay with it.
Does that sound fine with everyone else? Silver, Young?
Sure.
Works for
why not?
me.
At least it's better than dragging her along with us on the run.
All right.
So-
Fair enough. All right. I slowly turn to the guard. So, how are we doing this?
At that point, Silver just goes and just basically kind of like loops the chain around his neck.
Oh, really?
like-
No, wait, no, wait. He has to
Wait.
unlock the cage first.
Yeah,
Well,
what
the
he
thing-
what he said.
It's like, I'm impatient. Let's go.
And he slams his hand against the edge of the wall where he was standing, where he was sort of leaning against, and he slams his hand against it. There's a split second of nothing, and then it clicks in as if it was a loose stone that was camouflaged very well, and the chain, or the bars, as it were, slide into the wall and disappear. Oh, nope. Do the thing. There we go. Gone. Ignore the random black speck. Buyback speck. Okay.
I can't fucking whistle.
They
What was
wouldn't
the what was the guard's name again? Did we know?
Solemn.
So I would sort of he's still leaning up against the wall over here.
Yep.
I would sort of lean so that I could potentially see him, and I would holler out to him.
Do you have an extra bag? I would like to borrow some of these books. Most of them are mine.
Because I have like a shelf of books and stuff, and I would like to try and take whatever I can with me.
Yeah, sure.
Yay! Okay, I have a bag of books.
Yee. All right.
Also, if you don't mind, says Solemn, sort of standing up in a way, come out of there for the moment. And he gets everyone to come back to the circle.
Okay.
At least for the moment. Yeah, there we go. He then presses the button, and the bars. Actually, no, he doesn't do that. So he gets you all in the center again, and he goes to the edges of this circle, or the edges of this statue here, which technically this one would have moved to. I just never did. But that's fine. And he shifts the room again, and he unleashes an altogether different set of bars and doors, and actually a wall that looks somewhat normal compared to everything else. And he relinquishes a key that he had in his pocket, opens up the door. Kadruil, A Loxodon
Yes.
guard is nothing without his weapon. I know you don't like to fight. Take it out of there. And
Thank you.
you know this. You would actually know this, Kadruil, as you've very rarely been here, but you've read about it a bunch. This is the holding cell for all sorts of items and things. And if other people want to go in here and take a look around, they can totally do that.
Sure, why not?
Sure. Free loot. Fuck it.
Not necessarily
Do
free
I see
loot,
any books?
but roll
I assume
investigation.
perception.
Investigation, sort of searching through all the stuff.
19.
19, nice.
I am looking for books specifically. Any at all.
Of course you are. Unfortunately, you find no books. It's very sad. And in and amongst all the stuff, also, Locke, if you put your detect magic up,
Yep.
there is at least a decent magical aura of all sorts of persuasions in this room. And you find various weapons of others that have been trapped here, perhaps, and all sorts of interesting loot of persuasions. There is a battle axe, because those are fun.
Can we
there-
just okay, battle axe. Ooh, I'll actually take that, thinking, oh, Riven might like this when she gets back.
Aw,
Nice.
all right.
Keep
My
friend in mind.
I will give you the specs for that axe later.
Whenever the day comes that we can identify it.
Yes, that as well.
Yes.
And ribbon with
More specifically,
Silver.
one more thing first. Are there any enchanted sickles or crossbows in here?
no.
Because those are my primary. Okay, then I'll probably call it good at that. Just getting something.
Actually, wait. You said crossbow?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, there is one.
Okay, I will take that and identify it later.
Yeah, do that. I'll give you a magic
Alright.
crossbow because it'll be fun.
That was too easy. I feel like you're setting me up for something horrible, but fuck it, I'm going with it. It's going on an adventure,
Wait, does
motherfuckers.
Silver find anything?
Silver with your 12, you find, what kind of armor can you wear? Well, you're a paladin, you can wear everything, never mind.
Well, kind of, but it needs to be mithril.
Alright,
So I
because
don't-
sorcerer.
Well, no, mithril because I don't want like disadvantage on stealth.
Oh, yeah.
I already have a 0, so
There is a short sword of other persuasions and weapons and things. A lot of the stuff that seems to be in here seems to be like almost old and rusted away. There's a lot of gear in here, but a lot of the ones that's not magical have been sort of rusted away, and as far as Locke can tell, this crossbow's magical. The hammer is not, that Kadruil picked up. His hammer's fine. His hammer's normal. It just hasn't been in here long enough to rust. The crossbow's magical. There's a short sword that's magical. And there is also a staff that is magical.
kind of interested about the staff.
You can pick up and take the staff.
Sure. Be like, huh, this is interesting.
As soon as you grab it, roll. Oh wait, no.
Shit.
No. Alright. So. You
Come
pick up.
out to the guard.
Yes.
Again, it's just like, how are we gonna do this?
That also makes the effort of the events here seem a little bit more believable if you raid the loot room.
Okay.
Locke, are you
Is there any
hiding
other-
the crossbow that you grabbed?
Sure.
Roll sleight of hand to like stealthily slip it into your robe.
6.
Okay. Okay. So you come out, you have the gear. He sort of raises an eyebrow at Locke with the crossbow, and he's, have fun with that.
Do you know what it does?
I don't. But it was the weapon of one of our more recent prisoners. And he was a very interesting sort, so I'd be careful.
Oh, I plan to be. I'm not going to shoot this thing until I know exactly what it does. I'm not stupid.
Interesting shorts.
Am I able to see where Locke hit it? Is it pretty obvious?
I rolled a 6. Yeah, it's fucking obvious. And when
Yeah.
the guy pointed out, I just stopped bothering.
I want to gently tap Locke on the shoulder and just sort of quietly whisper to him. It's like,
Hey, you have a crossbow-shaped thing sticking out of your pants. You might want to hide that better. Friendly advice.
Alright then.
We're leaving.
Yes. So now. So,
This is no preamble, no other comments, just we're leaving.
okay. How
Just
are we
trying
supposed to
to
knock
help.
you out? She's falling to the guard.
Well, I've took a couple hits already. You can get a good solid blow. And I'd be pretty quick about your exit. Because considering the amount of time that we spent down here, you were not good with those chains. Shut up. Said by Young, because he was a snide remark about the chains to Young. And hearing the grinding down here when it's a unscheduled time to do so, people are going to be looking here. You guys don't have very long to get out of here. So,
Yes,
Alright,
but the
so-
guards up above, how are we going to get past them?
well, if you charge past and run, sure. Or do
And
you
then
have?
what? Get to the gates outside this area, and how are we going to get past those? Last I seen, there's multiple guards sitting there.
Well, actually, I do have a plan.
Okay.
You want to leave, and you want to leave quickly.
For the most part, yes.
Yes.
All right. And he reaches into the pocket of his garb, and he hands you a gold piece. Basically, it looks exactly like a normal gold piece, but there is a like almost carved X through the head side face of the gold piece. It's almost like Two Faces coins.
Mm-hmm.
And he tosses it to silver. When you head out of here, because he knows you know the town. When you head out of here, go as quickly as you can to the mage quarters.
Okay.
You will find a halfling there.
There's probably lots of halflings there.
No, not in the mage's quarter, there's not.
So how do we find... Okay, alright, fine. Continue.
He will not be difficult to find, trust me.
Right.
Show him that coin. And tell him Solemn wants them out. And he'll give you a way out.
So we're supposed to say Salam wants them out, or Salam wants us out?
Solemn wants them out. Specifically.
Okay, so
Okay.
we have to specify them, not us.
Them.
Good to know.
Okay.
Yep. That's an important detail. Don't fudge it.
Alright.
He looks at Kadruil.
What?
Stay close.
Never
to me.
mind.
Stay close and let us do the talking till we're out of the city, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, what next? Do we knock you out and go, or can you fake?
She
being
just
knocked
straight
out
up
pretty
punch him.
good? Okay.
Roll an attack.
This is just gonna be a +7. So she doesn't have her sword on her.
Nope.
Oh, that's a natural 20. Shit. All right.
Nice. All right.
Second natural 20 tonight.
So,
Superman punch. Boom.
okay, yeah, he's down. Poof.
Now we gotta make it look real.
He's already pretty roughed up from your scuffle, but
it is fine. Let's grab his bag.
sure. All right.
I mean, his bag has your stuff. His bag has your stuff in it.
Yes, she's grabbing it.
But now they have one more haversack than they used to.
Yes, exactly.
Also,
Alright,
it's
so-
worth noting you might find out that that's more than just a haversack later. Anyway.
All right. Let's go. All right. All right, let's do the ascension thing. Now, Cad, I'm going to do a thing to you. It's going to be a little disorienting, and it's going to last for about 10 minutes. It's going to be confusing, but I ask that you be as quiet as possible when you're doing it, but stay close, all right? Try not to...
Silver's donning her armor.
Right, so, you ready? I put a hand on him.
Okay.
I turn him invisible.
Invisible elephant. Yay.
Okay, you are now invisible. So, unless we are completely alone, not a sound. Okay?
I'm not stupid, you know.
Great, offend the offend the big
You're
guy.
making this very confusing on me. Okay, let's get out of here.
All right. So,
Well, let's go. And off we go. Oh, and
Suddenly-
Silver tosses the gauntlets to Young.
mhm.
I
Oh,
just assumed you
actually,
redistributed
Silver,
all
you're
of it
going
back
through
to
the
us.
bag.
Yeah,
The bag's empty.
but the thing is, she's thinking about her armor,
Yeah, she is. Okay, yeah, you found it.
and she's thinking of she's actually thinking okay, Young needs her gauntlets. She
You're-
doesn't
you're s-
realize it, but she is pulling her stuff out.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine.
It won't be noticed until later.
All right,
Mhm.
fair enough.
It's just a bag now.
All right,
So it is an elephantine haversack of holding.
kinda, yeah.
So, and off we go. We're on the race. 10 minutes.
All right.
Yep.
So-
10 minutes before I have to put it back up, and I can only cast it one more time, so I'll try to hold off until we really need it. Just for the initial
You are
rush,
running. You are running. How are you running? Are you just bolting, or are you trying to sneak out?
though. Let's try and sneak out so that we can avoid drawing a ruckus.
Okay.
And
Roll.
goes on and up.
Yeah. So roll stealth, everyone, including Cad, with advantage because you're invisible.
Okay.
13 from me.
Should I just roll it a second time then?
Yeah, just roll it a second time. There you go.
Alright, so I got a 13 on mine.
And you said I was loud.
Never said you were loud.
16 and anyone that's
Right, I know.
shit. Yeah.
Well, okay. Alrighty then.
But we're kind of moving together as a group, so
Yeah. Who's leading the charge of the stealthness?
I would possibly be able to because I move very fast. It wouldn't be probably for a purpose unless someone asked me to.
we
But I
can't
do
see
move.
you.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
I would personally vote Silver because most tanky of the group.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Alright.
She's first.
Oh yeah, I forgot to
And
roll
I'd be
stealth.
like literally right on her heels. What's your move speed? 30?
Yes.
Yeah. I'd be like trying my best not to trip over her, probably.
Okay, yeah. So you charge, you make your way out. A few of the guards spot you, as you're running past, and some of them have been making their way towards the tower anyway, and there is this moment of clarity where they realize you are there, and they are charging to get the heck away, to get after you, but you guys are much faster, and not all of them have donned their armor yet, which some of them are getting on, especially the ones that are not near the tower. And they are charging after you. But, roll for me. They have seen you, they have spotted you. Let's see how quickly you can run to get out of here. Roll me acrobatics.
Shit.
Or is it athletics? Which one is strength?
Athletics.
Athletics.
Yeah,
Oh, great.
athletics.
I have a -2. I have a -2 in that, but I'd have a +2 in acrobatics, so I just got fucked.
10.
Come on, natural 20, please. 8.
Nice. Okay, so
Jesus.
8 is not nice. 69 is nice.
I was referring to the 23. Thank you.
Oh,
So, Locke, are you still near Cad, who's invisible?
I kind of. It depends on if he's making an effort to keep close to me. I'm just hoping, really.
Okay.
I would pretty much be right behind Silver, trying not to, because I'd be running as fast as she is.
All right. So you start to trip, and then you land on Cad, who's invisible, who helps you right back up as he's moving, because he's very athletic when he is moving. He's just like whoop,
Okay.
and he doesn't even realize he's done.
My trunk whips around over my shoulder and picks you up.
Okay.
And off you get into the quarter section of the thing. You come charging in to the mage's quarter. There's a few mages that see this shenanigan, and the guards following through.
Silver's like, is there a gnome? Anyone?
It's
What?
halfling.
Oh, halfling. Excuse me. Is there a halfling?
There's when you say that, when you say that, there's like one of the smaller road mages people sort of perks up and looks and sort of tilts his head at you, and you see, in fact, a halfling.
Silver sits there and throws the coin at him.
Actually, and as you throw your coin at him, roll perception.
Is this the wrong one?
Oh, please.
No, you're and everyone can roll perception. It's fine.
Okay.
6.
2!
Yay.
20.
Okay, so Dad sees it. Great.
I can read the coin in slow motion and tell you what year it was.
No.
Probably doesn't have
wasn't-
a year on it.
It wasn't
Oh.
looking. It wasn't looking at the coin. It was looking at the halfling. Let's see if Young sees it. Nope, she doesn't. Okay, you're the only one that sees it. I'll tell you about it later. It's fine.
Okay.
And he actually catches, because I don't want to have to bother trying to text it to you, because I want to get y'all out of here. So it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
She's like, oh,
Um,
someone wants some out.
So, he takes a coin, spins it in his fingers a few times, and then, what's
on a Kadruil at this point, just in case this is a teleport or something, so he's encompassed.
Silver will grab Young.
Yeah, okay. He spins it in his hands for a second, and then he sort of reaches into the back of his cloak, mumbles something. You guys can't hear it because you're too far away from him. and pulls out a feather, which he spins in his fingers, and then behind you guys in the doorway, where you're just coming from, being followed by guards.
They get turned into a chicken.
No, they do not get turned into a chicken. It's fine. So there's that, and I have to roll thing. It's going to be a couple things, because I got 3 guards coming after you. Let's see, so 6.
Dang.
Good thing it's actually high anyway. Because he's a high level person, thankfully. Wow. Jeez!
Oh no. Okay.
So they
Are these O-Nos or Kool-Aid?
well, these are oh-nos. Because there's as you're running through, there's discernible wind resistance, and all the Loxodon come charging through the thing that's still coming after you, and he's just like, yeah, come on! And,
Was that a stiff breeze?
huh?
Did he fart on them? Did he create a stiff breeze by farting on them with magic? Because that wasn't very effective.
He did
Halflings
wind.
work in mysterious ways. They eat anything.
Okay. So he charges for you guys to come closer. And okay. Who of you is the slowest?
I talk slow.
Who? Wait. Who said that?
There's
Oh,
there's an
never
invisible
mind.
elephant right here. Yeah, there's an invisible elephant right here.
Visible.
Well, now that we've discussed the elephant in the room.
Yeah, really. Fine, whatever. It's fine. You look the smallest anyway. Well, I know I'm smaller than you, but that's beside the point. Here. And he holds out his hand to you, Locke.
I take his hand and shake it.
Yeah. Yeah, you take his hand and shake it, and poof, you guys disappear.
Okay.
And now you and him are running down a stairwell in a room that you didn't even see, and yeah, you guys are gone. So
What? I just
You-
said that in character. Just a
Yeah.
wordless babble of confusion.
it's fine. You're
You
fine.
are very loud.
It's fine. You're fine. Dimension door. Come on. And you also now notice. And you also now notice that this halfling, he's holding your hand, and you see his arm out to you. He's a little bit more fuzzier than your average halfling, but he's taking you. Go.
Okay, we're going.
And yeah, he pointed to a doorway as he disappeared, and you guys are still stuck up top. And then he's okay. Do you have the ability to? You look magey and magical. Do you have the ability to turn yourself invisible?
One more time, and for 10 minutes, and then I am out of magic, except for cantrips.
You're a warlock. Great, fun. Do that. Be right back. Poof, poof.
I like just punch my chest a couple times and turn invisible.
All right, so this happens in quick succession. These Loxodon guards are coming towards you. These mages are like entirely confused that's in the room, but they're keeping their back away, especially when some of them see the bigger Loxodon guards with the half plates and all that sort of fun stuff. Riven, are you doing, or Silver, are you doing anything specific?
Ready to
Trying to get
defend
away.
Ready to defend yourself.
You do have your gear back, which is good.
I do, yes, very nice. So I'm back to normal armor. Yeah, that's. I guess is just she's trying to get away as she can.
You doing what now?
She's trying to get away as fast as she can.
All right. So roll athletics.
Well,
If not, it's like I'm gonna beat some shit out of some people. 19.
Nice. Okay. So athletics for Young. 4. Does your invisibility thing have a range, Locke?
my invisibility spell.
The one that you cast on. The one that you cast on.
For casting, I know it has a range. I don't know if that range matters for the duration, because the duration is 10 minutes.
Okay, that's fine.
Is it a concentration?
The range is touch, and it is concentration up to 1 hour.
Okay. So when you cast invisibility to turn yourself invisible, it broke on Cad.
Right. And the duration is up to 1 hour, too, so I got that
Right.
wrong. It lasts up to an hour.
So when you cast invisibility on yourself just now, you broke it on Cad. So, Silver, you're making your way towards the stairwell that he had indicated later. Athletics check for Cad. Okay. So, poof, poof. The halfling comes back, and he sees Young, who trips because 4, go, and he touches her, grabs her shoulder, and he looks up and sees that Cad has reappeared. I expected that. That's fine. That makes you easier to find. Poof, poof. And he poofs away with Young, and Locke, where you are. You see that Young and the halfling from before just poof into existence right in front of where you are invisible.
Ah! God damn it.
Yes. Alright. So do something to hide. Get yourself not seen. Whatever you somehow do it. Young's like, right. And Young disappears into the shadows with a natural 20.
Nice.
And then poof, he disappears, and Young, as he disappears and gets away, you hear Young's voice from the shadows go, "Was it just me, or was he furry?" And then poof, poof, comes back. Silver, or no,
Yeah.
Cad, Kadruil. What's your armor class?
AC 17.
18.
Yes, we know.
Yay. We have defenders.
Yeah. One of the Loxodon swings his warhammer at you and misses you. He's gotten close to you now. And poof, in comes the halfling again. Yay. Eeny, meeny, miny, that one. Grabs ribbon. Poof.
Or silver.
Silver.
Or, no. Yeah, grabs silver. Poof, poof. You're big. You have armor. Can you hide well?
Me?
Yes, you. Quick. Come on.
Yes.
Good. Do that. Bye. Poof, poof.
Okay.
13.
13.
13 doesn't hit you. Grab dimension door. Go. Woof. And as he comes back, with you, Cad, he goes instantly to locking the door, places his hand on it, a rune appears for a split second, and then why does he put me in the middle of all this stuff?
It's a regular occurrence.
Not this specifically, no. But, there's corruption in this town, I'm sure you've noticed.
Oh, no duh. Yeah.
Yeah, we noticed. That's
Yeah. let's just say that
It's
there's...
very nice to see someone who's wearing this type of helm and is not gross.
Well, yeah. Let's just say that there's a sort of underground, you could call it crime, whatever. There's an underground thing going on here to sort of help get those unjust out. And are you Kadruil? Looks to...
Sorry, it cut off just a sec. Am I what?
Are you Kadruil?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I thought. And if they knew that I knew that, that would be bad. Okay. Now.
What in the hell did you learn?
Huh?
A lot of things. You see, I had a lot of time with books.
Don't worry about that right now. Come on. And he leads you a little ways away from the doorway that he had sort of essentially magic lockdown. That's a lot of spells in quick succession. I'm glad I'm a wizard.
You alright?
Yeah. It's fine. Parents. It's fine. And now all of you in this room and him huffing in his like robe and whatever, all sort of haggard a little bit from all the spells back and forth.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's a rather furry halfling. And one thing in particular is he's got the hood down because it fell down when he came in here with Cad, because Cad is huge. And instead of having normal ears, normal human halfling ears, or whatever, halfling ears, he actually has fur-tipped canine ears.
What?
Yes. I will explain what he is after session. He's fun. He is a type of race that existed in 3.5, but I brought him into here because I love them. They're so cool. Anyway.
Okay.
And I made him a wizard because, haha.
Okay.
Okay. So. Get my bearings back here for a second. Phew. Okay. Now. I have a place. He sort of leads you down, and you guys see a, well, it looks very familiar. He leads you down a stairwell into what effectively is this, oh great, this is going to be fun for Cad. It's a veritable library of sorts. There's all sorts of books all over the place. And in the middle of this library, there is what two of you at least, or what one of you has seen before. A teleportation circle.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So. Do any of you have anywhere specific that you want to go that... Yukiegi. Yukiegi doesn't have teleportation circles as far as I know.
I believe it has one.
Yeah, she made it permanent.
Yeah, it has one. New.
The new one.
And it's...
Do you know the runes?
Do I know the runes?
Wisdom check.
Okay.
Oh no.
Please roll high, please roll high, please roll high, please roll high. 17!
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I remember them.
Okay. I can do that.
All right, and I'll sort of explain each rune and help them figure it out.
While Locke's explaining that and they're getting all that set up, the runes on the circle on our end where we are, would I be able to like flip open a book and sketch it down?
Sure.
Yay! It's something new.
Yeah. All right. Okay. That should work. Are you ready to go?
We just
Oh, well.
definitely don't want to stay here. We definitely don't want to stay here
Yeah,
for
we
a whole lot
don't.
longer.
As a poof, pound on the door. Yeah, I'm gonna be in so much trouble for this, but that's fine.
Come with us so you run away. No. Okay. So you don't
Haha.
have to deal with this bullshit.
Well, I'm trying to fix it from inside. Okay, so
Oh, well, good luck doing that.
it's quite the endeavor, but whatever. I'll
Yeah,
work
tell me
on
about
it.
it.
Okay. So sets up teleportation circle. I'm sure you. Wait, do you know how these work? If you know someone with a teleportation circle with these very interesting runes, have to give my compliments to the designer of these runes. They're interesting. I like them. Anyway,
Well, the person who drew down the circle you're sending us to didn't come up with them. They just copied them from somewhere else entirely.
well, either way, I will. This will get.
But I'll be sure to. But I'll be sure to tell the person waiting for us that she is a good wizard.
Yes, that. So, yeah, okay, and then runes circle. This is going to be quick. I don't know if you know how teleportation circles work, but they're very, very fast. Everybody get closer together. Cad, get away from that book. Come here. Come on.
I would probably be perusing after I was done sketching. I'm
Exactly.
not necessarily a book fiend. It's just certain books.
Yes, you were perusing and you found one that was interesting and you were leafing through it and he's just like, come on, come on.
We're going to a library. There are plenty of books there.
Sold.
Good to know he's easy. I say that in my head.
Alright. So, teleportation circle set up, rune set up, sparkle of magic, and whoosh! You are whisked away. I don't know if any of you, other than maybe Kenneth, are old enough to remember this show a la Sliders style, almost like the hyperspeed thing. Whoosh!
Oh dear God.
No idea what that looks like. Do you have another visual?
The
reference?
kaleidoscopy, timey warpy thingy from Doctor Who.
Ah, you mean the time vortex? Okay.
Yeah, that. It's like that, but not that.
It's
like
that, but with more atoms scattering back and forth across space.
Yes.
No, see, that's the Star Trek warp. This is just straight up teleport or beaming.
One's in a fish tank and one's in a world of fantasy.
Yes.
Yep.
So, and everyone stumbles and falls and lands in. Well, let me put you
I
in the
fall
proper.
with style.
Yes, you do. Let me put you in the proper map here.
It would be not athletics. Acrobat.
Well, that's what we've been rolling. That's why I clicked.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
that's
fine. And everybody's
Just
here. And I'm gonna have to get rid of these shapes and things for the. That's the wrong map, but that's okay. And you're here. Yay!
Hey.
Everybody lands. And yeah, athletics for those who haven't rolled it yet. Or no, this would actually be acrobatics because it's dex.
No,
Seven.
face first.
7.
Yep.
Apparently, we all land on silver.
Oh, dear
Sorry.
God. You just see her hand just like slightly pounding on the floor. Get off
Wait,
of me!
how much health did you have left?
Oh yeah, Young's fine. Cool.
44. So Young's just like sitting on top of him.
And then Alessandra's like, wait, what?
In kind of a dizzy state on the floor, I'll just declare, "Hi, Mom. I brought friends." Ow.
Greetings, Locke's mom.
I sort of
Silver's
wave.
underneath. Wait, so they're all piled on top of Silver?
Except
Pi-
for y'all.
piled in a heap around each other, not necessarily on anyone specific.
Ow. You're pretty.
Okay.
That hurt.
Teleportation circles can do that if you're not used to it. Locke, are you okay?
I get up, dust myself off, walk over, hug Mom, and tell her, I'm fine, and you are a fantastic wizard.
Thank you for the compliment. Okay. Who are you? Points to the elephant in the room.
And probably the other elephant in the room, because we kind of have two at the moment. One literal and one not. Because there are two strangers here right now.
This is true.
So, I guess getting up, greetings, Mrs. Locke. Sorry for the re-entry. I can help you clean after. My name's Kadruil.
Alessandra first, and it's fine. And you? Looks to Silver.
Iris Silverstein. She like reaches a hand up from the floor.
I'll say,
What?
yes, and this is...
I'll help her
She's
up.
trying to she's trying to shake hand.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because she's not moving. She's just like, I'm done for today.
Okay.
And just like, yeah, Iris.
And I'll go ahead and then turn to Alessandra. And this is my mother, Alessandra.
You find some interesting friends, Locke.
Well, Young brought me to that one, I point at Silver, and circumstances brought me to that one, I point at Cad.
Right.
Anyways, I sort of dust myself off a bit. So once we've calmed down a bit and caught our breath, you and I should probably talk. I found him.
Okay. We can do that.
Alright.
You look a beat up, looks at Silver.
I'm fine. I just need a nap.
She got thwonked by another elephant.
Yeah, you should have seen him.
Right. Are you a fugitive now, Locke?
Wasn't I already?
Good point. She kind of ruffled your hair. She very, very much smiles and ruffles your hair at that. She liked that.
Hey.
All right.
I'm pretty sure we don't have room enough for everyone here, and to be honest, I don't know either of you two well enough to be comfortable with you spending the night in my mother's house. And Young, I'm still kind of pissed at you, even though you did very well today. So, tavern's just down the street. Silver knows where it is. So does Young. And,
I'm
Yeah.
sorry to impose, but I have no money.
I chuck a plat at him. Here, take a plat.
Wow. Thank you.
he's like sort of just eyeing the coin.
Yeah, well, I mean, hang around me long enough, more's probably going to roll in. I have a tendency to wander into dangerous situations that wind up giving me money.
All right.
You have my word. I shall repay or earn this. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Then I'll turn over, and then I assume everyone's heading out at this point.
Yeah,
Probably.
everyone gets that fun. Just be like stretches. A few bones pop. Oh.
Then once everyone's out, I'll, of course, want to have a scene between Locke and his mom.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So,
We will handle that conversation unless you specifically wanted it on screen.
I mean, I was kind of hoping to do it now while it's all fresh in my head.
Right. Yeah.
I figured having that conversation would be a good cap point for the session.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so you guys lead the way back to the tavern with basically everyone other than Locke goes to the tavern. And then we have a conversation with Locke's mother, Alessandra.
Yep,
So you did find him.
I did. Yeah, I found him.
All right.
Was not impressed with what I found, though.
You didn't expect that anyway?
I don't know what I was expecting. I was kind of hoping, I guess, that that there'd be something a bit more meaningful, I guess. Something more redeeming, some reason that we didn't know about why he ran off that would make it more understandable as to why he did. And no, apparently he just ran because he was scared he wouldn't be sufficient. He wound up in that jail cell, allegedly for stealing some artifact or other, or attempting to steal from a noble and getting caught. And said noble was apparently a petty asshole and used his influence in the city to knock Dad's sentence from 6 months to a year up to 10 years.
That's definitely higher up and petty.
Well, I shelled out most of the money I had to reduce it down to 4 months, and he knows where we are. He knows we are here, so I gave him your message, by the way. So
I'm glad. What did he say?
he said he could, probably. I personally remained skeptical, but I told him that if he wants to prove it, well, he knows where to find us now. When he's released in 4 months, he can come here, he can link up with us, and maybe he can start making up for everything he missed.
Right. So what's your plan now?
Well, first I have a question. Has Riven come by yet? We were gone for a good few weeks, weren't we? It was a
Yeah.
lengthy trip to get there. Yeah, so has she
I
been
haven't
by?
seen her, no.
All right. Guess I shouldn't be surprised. I have no idea what I'm going to do now, though. I guess maybe I can hunker down here for a while, help you run this place. I don't know. I mean, up till now, but before we met up in that tavern those a ways back before we finally reunited, I was just running for my life. Before I met Riven and the others, I was just running scared the whole time.
Yeah.
Then I bumped into them and managed to reunite with you, and well, I've got my family back, the family I care about back, and a place to call home. I don't know. Just I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss now. I've been focusing so much on just getting certain things done, and but now just about everything I had lined up, all of the promises I made, or the obligations I had, or the goals I set for myself, are all either no longer relevant or accomplished. And I guess, yeah, I guess I'm just gonna stay here for a while and help out here.
I'd like that. At least for a little while.
Yeah, at the very least, until Riven comes back, as long as she's still alive, of course. And
You're not...
Huh?
What if she takes a long time to come back? You're not just going to stay here forever.
I mean, I don't plan on abandoning the only family I have, not again.
No, but you've done some great things. You've helped those in need. You have friends that seem much more of the wandering or adventuring sort.
I mean, yes, but Mother, please, don't get me wrong. I'm not, at my core, the altruistic sort. I help where I can, but largely I did so because there was something in it for me, too. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a great person at my core. I mean, I'm scared of basically everything. It's getting easier to go in the face of that fear these days since I actually have friends to help with that, but that doesn't take the fear away.
Right.
And it's very hard to be kind and altruistic and generous when I'm scared of almost everyone I meet.
Hang around here for a couple of days. See what you.
The way
See what
I
you.
see it, I was essentially robbed of having a proper childhood and a decent family life because of circumstances back in Savanora. Unless some disaster comes along that demands I put my magic to use again, I want to make up for some of that lost time.
I get you. I get it.
You have a place now. Technically, we have a place now. You have work. I could probably find work easily enough if I looked around a bit. It's just,
All right.
and I don't want to go wandering off and getting myself killed and be dead before Father comes home, because much as I'm very, very disappointed in what I found when I finally met him, as skeptical as I am, I want to at least make sure he has the proper chance to prove me wrong. But I can't be proven wrong if I'm dead.
Then you can hang around here, and maybe your friends, and if you still think of them as your friends anyway. Well,
You mean
maybe
Young
the
and
four of
Oak?
you, maybe the group can find something to do here. There's always adventuring things to do as far as quests and things. Shield Buff has a new set, I've heard, actually.
Odd jobs? I suppose I could do that. I mean, I sort of lift my hand and let the Eldritch Blast energy swirl around it for a minute. Killing things does seem to be what I'm best at when it comes to my magic. I'll give it some thought.
Okay. I just don't want you to feel like you have to stay here. I know you don't feel close to him and feel like you know him. And it probably will bother you by me saying this. But there is a spike of that adventurous nature that your father had in you. He was a treasure hunter. He went out and he did things because he was curious and because he was interested. I think that maybe your bravery that you do have stems from there somehow. A degree of wanderlust.
Well, I
I
never
don't
set
want
out
you-
adventuring.
We were trapped in Savanora. I don't want you to feel trapped here.
Well, in this case, I'm not trapped here. I want to be here. I want to be with my family who I was robbed of having a normal life with before.
I understand.
Besides, when I ran off from Savanor in the first place after, that was very sudden. I didn't even have a chance to come by, grab anything, or say goodbye. Just gone. I can only imagine that must have been hard on you. And until we were reunited, you were without any of your family for a long while. And I do want to make up for that.
I know.
Making you worry and just leaving you like that.
Maybe with a touch of magic and no one to complain, I can actually teach you a few things.
I'd like that. Although, I'll sort of subconsciously grab at Vindsvept's book in my pack. Not sure how Vindsvept will feel about that.
Just have to ask him.
You hear that, you big doof? I pat the book. Gonna need an answer on that.
There's a pause, nothing. Then
Yeah, he'll probably talk about it when I'm asleep. That's how he usually does it.
well, you better go get some sleep then.
It's late, so you too, probably. What were you even doing up at this hour?
I was studying, writing a few more spells that I didn't have from Well, no, you took Nora's book before. Back with you.
Yeah.
No. She actually says, I was writing down a few more spells that I haven't learned yet.
Well, all right. No,
You get some good rest, Locke.
you too. Night. And I'll have Locke head to wherever that bed is that was set aside for him.
Alrighty then.
And yeah, okay, I'm good to. And there a few guys are.
Yep. That seems like a fairly good enough place to end that. So, I don't know if you know the specifics of how this works because we didn't really do it in the one shot and not quite as effectively last game. But at the end of every session, Kenneth, I like to do a sort of a this has been Shadows of Gradariel said by one person and then next time said by another.
Where we sort of try to predict what's going to happen next.
Right,
Usually
or have
failing
some
miserably.
thoughts and things. And so, Sam, if you will do the first part of that, the Welcome to Shadows of Gradariel, or Shadows in your case.
This has been Shadows.
I like it. I'll take it.
You disappoint me, but all right. Yes.
All right,
And
and
join us next time when we. I don't fucking know. The adventure's wrapped up for the time being. The GM's gonna have to clobber us or something to get Locke off his ass. So I don't know what I'm doing.
oh,
guess,
there's some things that's going to happen next session. It'll be fun.
Okay, then yeah, join us next time when the dungeon master's a complete asshole and ruins all of the happiness my character and everyone else has finally managed to acquire for themselves in one fell swoop. Because that's how dungeon mastering works, people. You make your players happy and then you hurt them.
Yeah. Something like that.
Join us next time when Kadruil reads every book in town, feels like
Out
he owes
loud.
everyone favors for their kindness, cleans everything.
Yes, this will be great.
And Yang and Silver is just sitting in the background, sitting back in the corner, each having like a mug of ale, just like